Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Wow. Welcome to the C3 Panthers Podcast. Thank you, Joey the Blind Panther, for that lovely roar. My name's Tony Dunn. It's another Tuesday night. We're here talking the Carolina Panthers from the fan perspective. That's right. You come here for the latest news and opinions from the fan perspective. The longest running Panthers podcast on the interwebs, on the webs, on the audio waves, including the team. We ain't missed a week in 10 damn years. And it's a bye week, baby. And I'm asking you, Cody Lashney, are we buying? Are we selling? Are we just saying bye-bye? I don't know what we're doing. Bye-bye.
Oh,
it
baby.
feels like a teeny bopper song that I was about to say.
Hey, man, I'm buying, and I'm not talking insane, baby. I'm not talking insane, baby. Let's go. I'm buying, and look, man, I just feel like as long as the Carolina Panthers are still in this numbers-wise, from the win-loss perspective, as long as our division rivals are as terrible as they are, and as long as we have Steve Wilks and this Panthers team trying to play their very best football down the stretch, I'm rocking with my squad, baby. You already know it. There's something out ahead of us for us to still fight and earn, and that's 100% what we're going to do, man. We're going to talk about Sam Darnold tonight. We're going to talk about Matt Rule, the biggest snake oil salesman in the history of the world, going to Nebraska. Man, we're going to break up this bye week and talk about how we're feeling about the team overall. But Tony Dunn, you know we're going to do it. The best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. Our guys Drew, AU Link, Blind Panther Vlogs, Chad Howell, Doug Reader, Jay Prey. What's up, dude? JD864, KG73s, Ken Folk NC, Padawan Panther, Promise QS Panda, the Cardiac Cat, Tim Estes, and Tin Tizzy. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
I tell you, it's been and why can I not? There's something wrong with I can't hear myself. You guys said my audio was jacked up, and I know why, because I can't hear myself at this moment. I usually can. So there's definitely a setting that is jacked up at this moment. But ultimately, this is that the Carolina Panthers have won, 4 games now? 4?
Yeah.
4? Wow.
4 games.
And we're in the division hunt. I mean, we're right there. Imagine being at 9 wins right now and being 2 wins out.
Right.
I bet you there is a team somewhere out there that is facing that. But we're not, CK. Right now, we're at the bottom of the barrel. This is a weird and wonderful spot, CK. We are either heading to the draft or heading to the playoffs.
But it's a weird dynamic, dude. And the funny thing is, somehow we had a similar hope to a degree last year, late into the season, because we weren't eliminated from playoff contention. Now, we weren't in the hunt, I don't believe, for the actual. I mean, maybe at one point we were in the hunt for actually getting the NFC South, but I think we were kind of chasing the wild card spot last year until pretty late in the season, if I'm recalling that correctly. And so, yeah, it's absolutely insane that we are as bipolar as we are, because it's with every single loss, with every single win, we're either living on a cloud or we're just down in the dumps talking about who's the next guy that's going to be coming in here to lead this team to victory.
It's the best of both worlds, bro.
It's incredibly.
We're in the playoff hunt and in the top 5 pick.
Sure. Yeah, it's I don't understand it. We are number 5 as far as picking in the draft right now if you were to draft today. But somehow when you look at the in the hunt draft boards, or in the hunt playoff boards, we're still listed right there. We are literally one game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, that is how weird this situation is. Can you believe
the Falcons lost?
Right.
The Saints lost. We won.
Absolutely
we would
unreal.
Be here. Oh my gosh! And Sammy D.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy D.
Sammy
Greg
Dimes,
the Bat
baby.
Daddy. Make sure you take it off of mute. There you go. I caught you. You caught yourself. Sammy D. I know that you think his stats are just pedestrian, and they totally are. But damn. Actually, not damn, man. I'm the only person that's been realistic up here. Cody Lashney is the king of tank, and this mug is trying to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, there's a difference. And by the way, tonight I'm going to pinpoint. I'm going to pinpoint exactly why my take is different then to now, and why I'm actually still well within my normal boundaries. I'll expand on that tonight.
Well, look, I pushed all my chips to the center of the table this weekend because, like, after a win, I just felt so good, and I just get tired of almost cheering for us to lose, and I'm tired of that. So, like, I feel like we have a great shot at winning this division. I was looking at the odds, and they're absolutely insane how low they give us the odds for 3 teams we've already beaten to win this division. But we win our 2 division games, and then one more game, and there's no reason I don't believe we can't win the division. Do we deserve to be in the playoffs then? No, but sometimes you get on a technicality, and that's the way it goes. Hey, it's getting late and winter's coming, fellas. Like, I'm ready for some playoff football.
Oh my gosh. Greg is so all in on this damn Game of Thrones. It's so annoying, Greg.
He's fine.
It's not annoying.
I've read 2 of the books too, by the way. I've read 2 of the books, but your buy-in is
I'm telling you, give it a shot. And I promise you.
Oh, I'm not gonna not like it, but you are all in.
Yeah,
you
even just hit us with really a winter is coming 8 years late.
He has haste.
8 years late to the winter is coming line.
Yeah. Doesn't matter to me.
You know what's wild about this is in the last 4 or 5 years, this might be the first time where I actually think we don't lose in the bye week. And what I meant by is we were so bad in so many years in last year and the year before is like everybody's like, oh, you can't lose this week. And I was like, yeah, we're actually getting healthier, maybe get some Sammy D, some reps in there. I don't know. I just finally feel like the bye isn't just a stay of execution for once.
Yeah.
Weird. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. Tonight's show is buying or selling. That is BUYING. Buying. We're buying or selling the Carolina Panthers after the BYE. The letters matter. The words matter. And I think we got a lot of questions to ask. Is now people are starting to write articles in the Charlotte Observer or local TV about is Steve Wilks earning this job right now. He's continued to say, hey, I had 13 weeks. I'm going to do it my way. And this team is really coalesced around him. And I think the fact that the defense has not quit, especially after that Cincinnati Bengals game, where I felt like could be a deflationary game for even a guy who is doing the right things, telling you Steve Wilks is doing everything you possibly can in the right scenario. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, as you're asked, like, I always tell people this is like, don't get mad at someone for doing what you asked them to do. You know, is like, I mean, and he is doing what we asked him to do. And even more, Matt Rule is now the coach of Nebraska. He's continuing to go and preach his falsehoods. He is you guys say a snake oil salesman. I'm at the point where I think he's like one of those fake evangelists that is out there preaching the gospel and he ain't really got the gospel or whatever it is. He's speaking in tongues and touching people on the head.
He does it because churches are tax exempt.
He is not tax exempt, but I'd love to. I can't wait to see the details of his deal. So we got that. We've got DJ.
We got him.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we got him in the show tonight.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear this.
Won't be long.
We've got DJ Moore cooking Patrick Surtain. I tried to temper you guys in the post-game show, but going back and looking at it, really, DJ Moore just got it done.
You put him in a blender.
Yep, and I put it on the shorts. I put put them in the blender. I put it on the shorts, Cody. So I'm going back and I don't want to overly talk junk to Pat Surtain in this, like, just because we like JC Horn, but really 2 games in a row, he's given up $1, and he gave up $1 against DJ Moore. So that's noteworthy. Brian Burns really stepping into stardom. And there's even more to talk about. And especially this, guys, the bye week is here, and we are on our first bye week charity drive. And I'm really excited about this because Greg put this together. Greg is the one that orchestrated this idea. And what's wild about this, Greg, is about 7 years ago was Joey, Mel Mayock, and myself. And they mentioned something like we should donate to something. I said, we should find a Panthers charity to do. And then we just let it hang. I mean, it just was a fleeting idea. But Greg came to us and he said, this is the bye week's here. We got to do something. We should do something, and we should give back. This is all on the Bat Daddy for making this happen. And we have, I won't say partnered, but we have we're throwing our support. Yeah, we're throwing our support behind the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation, which is a really cool one. First of all, Bradley Bozeman is taken over as starting center for the Carolina Panthers, and immediately the interior of this line is just badass. So first of all, fan fave, which we were calling for him from the beginning. His wife is a PR mastermind for him. Like, they be in pajamas doing stuff together. They're like cute and adorable and badass together.
She is.
And they have a foundation that they started when he was with Baltimore. But this foundation travels well. And what it's interested in is helping kids with food insecurity. And that is, a lot of kids go home from school and they're hungry. They have trouble concentrating on their schoolwork. They're worried about their families, how their little brother and their little sister are going to eat, or just the next. So what they do is this. What is wonderful about their Sync Snack program, which we're throwing our support behind, is that they're trying to partner community to help food insecurity. So they have these food boxes that are passed out by police officers, by firemen, by local community members, also in times in helping kids study after school and things like this. Like, these really kind of very important hours where young people can be lost between the time their parents get home from work or something like this. We're really happy this is we wanted to help. We wanted to just support a Panthers Foundation. We wanted to do something where we weren't asking for once, but we're giving. So I'm sorry that we're asking you guys to give, but it is the season. And right now we have a lofty goal of $5,000. The C3 Panthers podcast has already committed $250, actually $275 at this point. And we want to get it done. So look, the link is there. Instead of giving us money, which we do thank you for your support, give us your likes, your friendship, and all of that. But go there, $5, $10, $1. Let's just give. It's the season. And I won't even say the season. The season for giving and support is all year long. Greg, this was your kind of brainchild. At least just give a couple of comments, because my little baby is trying to ask me something.
Yeah, man. Well, this is something that I've always wanted to do as well. My podcast doesn't have nearly the reach that this one does, so it actually helps out to be able to be on a podcast that has a much bigger reach. I modeled my show after a number of shows, and the Geekverse podcast is one of them. And every year they do a charity drive. They do a 24-hour stream for their charity drive, and it's a great cause, and I always try to be a part of that. And, when they asked me to be part of it this year, I just kind of talked to Travis and asked him about what he had to do to get involved with this, because it's always fun to give back. And it's going to be a really fun show. We're going to be doing some trivia, hopefully teaming up with some fans from the chat room. We're going to be doing some fantasy drafts. If you donate, you'll put your name on a list to be able to have, we're going to do giveaways. I've got some autographs, like this Luke Kuechly rookie autograph right here, a bunch of different ones that I can give away, maybe some merch. So it's giving back and with the opportunity to possibly win something, if, not that anybody would need that kind of motive to be able to donate, but it is a nice little perk. But, man, it's going to be a really fun time, and it's just something fun to do during the bye week. It continues our bye week shows going on, and when there's no Panthers football to talk about, we might as well talk about something fun like that, and we're going to have a really good time, I think. What are we doing, 4:30 to 6:30 is what we're planning, 2-hour show?
That's the goal.
Okay. So
be here, folks. We'll be watching football together. We'll be talking about the scores and this and that. So, look, is go in there and just give some money because it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
It's better than giving it to us. Yeah, let's just pay it forward. And, Cody, we got one other thing. We do have some housekeeping because we have sponsors.
We definitely do.
Manscaped, folks, if you are, look, ladies, actually, this is for the ladies. Are the ladies in the house? Ladies in the house. Listen. There's probably not. Actually, you know what? There's some Kieran Choi's in here. No, there's some Panther gals in here. There's some girls. Look, girls know their football.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
No doubt.
No doubt about it.
And if you want to help your loved one or your great grandpa because he might nick his balls by accident, I mean, he might be in the nursing home. And look, them dudes in the nursing home be getting after it. They need, they got to keep it together too. And their balls be hanging low. Low. They call it low hanging fruit, right? You got to make sure that you don't nick the low hanging fruit. You need to use Manscaped products. If you are a man and you want to take care of yourself, your own hygiene below the belt, you go to manscaped.com. You use the promo code Panthers. You get 20% off. Right now, you can get 25% off. They're still running Cyber Monday deals, Black Friday deals that they run extra time. You get 25% off your order plus free shipping. Things that you get, the Lawnmower 4.0, right? That thing you see going across the screen right there. What that does is allows you to keep your man bush cropped close without fear of nicks, without fear of bleeding out. The worst thing ever is you bleed out in the shower trying to look good for your girl. Nick an artery. Ugh, you don't want to do that. Manscaped.com products can help, or Manscaped products can help you do that. But the real one that is great is the ball deodorant, bro. Telling you, that cream right there keeps you fresh. It's like, and I get sweaty below the waist.
Swamp
That's
nuts.
where I sweat.
Swamp nuts is real.
I know. I wipe it on my ass. I ain't gonna lie, because my ass sweats.
You nasty as hell.
No, the top, right about the top.
It happens.
Man,
it happens
deodorant. It's like a deodorant stick from my. Anyway,
dude, I'm sitting down
Manscaped.com.
all the time. What do you think mine are like, dude?
I know.
It's a nightmare, bro.
You're like, yeah. Manscaped.com, 20% off or more now that it's the holidays. Free shipping. Help us help you. Help your old lady. That's it, Cody. Let's get into some football. Man, we've been talking. It's 21 minutes in. We ain't even talked about the Panthers yet. Whew,
yeah, but
I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed.
I know, man. You gave a very emboldened Manscaped ad read, so I commend you.
I'm just
good,
honest.
sir.
People tell me I'm too honest. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. You know where I stand.
No.
Man,
Honestly,
enough, man.
Honesty is one of the qualities that you can have. But look, man, we're talking about Sammy Dimes. Look, man, Sam had an incredible performance Regardless of what you believe about him long term, he came out this season and has given a better performance as of yet than Baker Mayfield has. Right up here on the screen, you see Sam Darnold QBR in week 12 was 72. So that's pretty good. And it really just has us wondering, what do we expect of Sam
pretty
Darnold?
Good.
What do we expect of Sam Darnold
50's average
going forward? Yeah, 50 is average. And
50 is average, so 72 is pretty good.
Is this QBR? Is this the ESPN one?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
Then,
what do you expect of him?
Well, but it's what I had mentioned a while back from Sam Darnold, that to me he represents a much more premier talent at the position than Baker Mayfield does. And came on this still right here, a short little clip. Sam Darnold drops back and uses all that arm talent and leaves the ball out in front of DJ Moore for a big time gain down the field. And I'm telling you, that was another throw I don't trust Baker Mayfield to make. I think a lot of people don't. So now we're starting to wonder, well, man, what can the Panthers do with Sam Darnold under center? We're clearly a run-first football team. We're aggressive. We're pounding the rock. The offensive line is better than it has been in forever. We're going to talk about that later on as well. To me, I mean, I have no reason to not be optimistic about Sam Darnold. I'm not calling him the future. I'm not saying he's going to be our starting quarterback for years to come. But what I am saying is that Sam Darnold is showing that he is capable of running the Panthers offense efficiently. I like what Sam's doing. I'm liking his skill set under center.
That pass he had looked better than the Trevor Lawrence one. Just, you know.
Get him, Greg. Get him.
Man, I almost made a video for you, Cody, of like 32 quarterbacks that are garbage making passes the same, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I know. No, you should have, man. Stupid.
No, man, we're not even talking Trevor right now. That was a beautiful drive. That is a premier talent in the NFL, and you all wished that you had Trevor Lawrence on this team.
Honestly, I don't know that I would be agreeing with that, to be quite honest with you. I agree with the majority of what you've already said about Sam Darnold. I'm not sure that I agree with, I agree with the upside of Trevor Lawrence, but this is his third year in the league now, right?
No, second.
His second year in the league?
But he hasn't put up good numbers yet. No.
Neither did Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts.
The thing is that Cody's going to get all butt hurt. He's going to need to get that butt cream out.
Y'all never watch film of Trevor Lawrence ever.
No, that's not it.
What are you talking about?
No, the point is this, is that as a team that has been looking for the savior at quarterback, which is the Carolina Panthers, and this man on this podcast right here, you, with such utmost confidence, said this is the guy that's like of a cloth that is cut from a Peyton Manning, from a John, and I'm not talking about their traits, like you can say, oh, like that's not what I meant, that guy, this guy, but you're talking about a dude that is the savior.
That type of upside, and I still believe that, yeah.
That's fine.
Now, whether or not the Jaguars do that
for
him, whether or not he does it, hey, I still believe
I'm just saying this, is that it has not been, if that is the most premier talent in the last 15 years, that actually gives a lot of credence to people who are worried about drafting the guy at number 1 this year. Because if you're trying to tell me, you're trying to tell me that there's question marks with all of these people here. You said there were 0 questions with this guy, and it's not just been easy for him. Now, does that mean that he's a bust? No. Does that mean that he has not played well? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply saying that the guy who is the most guaranteed to be successful in since I've known you at quarterback has had struggles in the NFL. It just hasn't been like, it's just not as simple as just add him. And you know what's interesting is the Dolphins coach today. If you could look this up, by the way, there's a tweet. What he said is that too many people look at who's the best, this and that. Do you have the clip?
Yeah, it's like,
and maybe this applies here or there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not always just about who is the immediate best. And this is why I've kind of defended Tua in a certain way. Not defended. Anyway, I'm just saying Cody. Sorry, how about this? Can we just bask in one?
No, you wanted to have a Trevor Lawrence discussion, and I've watched more Trevor Lawrence film.
I don't care about your film. I'm just saying this. If he hasn't fucking turned it around.
How about this? If I have to pick long term, I'm still taking Trevor Lawrence over to Tagovailoa. And by the way, you guys are talking about Trevor. I'm trying to talk about Sam Darnold.
Can we talk about somebody else?
It appears as though maybe y'all Trevor Lawrence a lot more than you let on.
No, maybe you should be thinking old Zay Jones. Maybe Trevor Lawrence should be buying Zay Jones a steak dinner. I don't know. Wait a minute. Another NFL player better?
Zay Jones.
ECU, baby. ECU.
Oh, my
ECU.
God.
145 yards and a touchdown. What?
Yeah, who do you think But by the way, did y'all even look at that final drive? Dude, that thing was fucking
it's
magnificent.
Not like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I'm not
I watched it.
Dude,
and
I'm not
saying
that you have to compare.
It was what a quarterback should do, Cody. You can't praise him for doing what a quarterback that his.
I can praise him for putting together a damn good drive against the Baltimore Ravens.
You're exactly right, but
like I told you, the 2-point conversion.
Like I told you, I can pull up almost every single NFL quarterback that has ever played, ever, no matter how bad they are.
No,
I was going to Marcus Russell the other day and show a pass, Jimmy Clausen, and show a pass.
No,
not even a pass.
Not better.
I'm talking
just
a
like
drive.
That is one.
I'm not talking a pass.
No, I found it. I found Jimmy Clausen. Jimmy Clausen had a
I don't give a fuck if he made one drive or not. He's the number one draft pick. He should make
the only point. Right. The only point is that now he's starting to do that. Now he's starting to do the things
I'm not wrong. Oh my God!
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad. He's a good quarterback.
You all are trying to say that he's a bust.
No, listen, I'm not saying he's a bust. What I'm saying is he has not come to be the quarterback everybody touted him to be. Now, with all that being said, I can't say if we can't say he's a bust after 2 years of mediocre play, then we also can't say he is the real deal after one drive.
No,
you can't do it.
We're not trying to say he's about. You tried to tell us he was our savior. Anyway, let's get back to.
Well, how am I supposed to prove today's not? You would rather have Trevor Lawrence than every motherfucker on this roster right now.
Wrong. Gardner Minshew.
Who's better?
Not me. Who's better? Not me. I wouldn't.
No, now you're all delusional.
You're touting the Matt Corral's better.
On this roster. What a quarterback on this roster? No, on the active roster. Who is better right now? Oh, is it Baker Mayfield?
Cody.
Is it Sam Darnold?
So what if Matt Corral? If Matt Corral comes up next year, if he comes out next year and he throws for 3,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, which is what I think Trevor Lawrence did his first year, are you going to say Matt Corral is a great quarterback?
No,
that's what Trevor Lawrence did.
I'm saying Matt Corral has the same type of upside that you bet on, like Trevor Lawrence. Upside, yeah.
Wow. We'll see.
Wow.
Matt Corral has more arm talent.
Fuck Trevor Lawrence. Fuck
I'm
Trevor
saying
Lawrence.
better
Matt
than
Corral,
Sam,
baby.
better than Baker, better than PJ.
I know.
But anyway, how about this? How about
this is so awesome. It's so easy to put Cody on tilt.
It is, man.
So easy to put him on.
Cody has triggers. Cody has triggers.
And that's talk shit about little days
because it's such lazy evaluation.
It's not lazy. It's this.
It's so fucking lazy.
No, it's not lazy. You have already formed your belief about him. You formed your belief that he's a can't miss.
Did people think Josh Allen would be Josh Allen in year 2?
You didn't think that. You didn't think Josh Allen would be Josh Allen.
Did everybody think? In year 2, did everyone think Josh Allen was going to be the type of quarterback that we're calling him today?
I mean, somebody did. They drafted him for that reason.
No, but everybody thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be better. So how is that
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence is not doing what Josh Allen did the second year. That was what I'm saying.
Oh my
Dude,
god!
it takes time. You have
he
to
went
build
to the Buffalo
around your
Bills.
franchise quarterback.
Josh Allen went to the Buffalo Bills.
Once you build around your franchise quarterback and give them time to develop, they start to come together just like Trevor is now. That's all I'm saying. You ain't putting fucking words in my mouth. He is still a premier talent in the NFL. Better than every active quarterback on this roster.
Would you take him over
now,
Justin
talk
Herbert?
about Sam Darnold, damn it.
Would you take him over Justin Herbert? 2 years in the league, right? Same draft, right?
No, I would take Herbert
over 1 year.
Trav.
Wow.
But I think that I do think that they're in the same echelon of quarterback. And
2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
What they are able to do. Now, he also has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams available to him. So
easy.
Hey, man, I'm wrong about my quarterback take.
All right, let's talk about this other guy, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, fear the beard. Bro, he was pedestrian at best in this game.
It was. It was slightly better than what we've seen all year from every other quarterback we've had.
Actually, significantly better than Baker, slightly better than PJ. No turnovers, which one could have been. He almost Sam Darnold into the end zone.
Yeah.
11 of 19 or something like that, right? But first game, Rust, I would say some of the anticipation throws that were a little late in the beginning where he hit DJ. DJ had to wait for it, and the commentator was like, "Oh, he was wide open." I think if he gets a little bit more rhythm,
right,
he's going to play better than he played this past week.
And that's the thing is, that's my point with this whole thing is for his first start of the year, coming off of injury, not having reps with the ones, like this is. If Baker had this game in week 1, like this consistent of a game in week 1, we would have given him a lot more benefit of the doubt.
Oh, we would have signed him to a 5-year extension.
Potentially, you might be right.
That. I don't really mean that, but like
knowing what they've done with Sam Darnold with his 5th-year option, you might be right.
He was not great, Sam Darnold. This is what's wild about this for us. Is we don't need great. We just need someone that's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's really and that was the problem with Baker. He was just terrible.
Right.
Just fucking terrible. We didn't even need him when we traded for him. We didn't need him to come in and be Aaron Rodgers. We didn't need him to be this. We needed him to be the Baker that handed the ball off, that made a couple of splash plays.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, what is this?
Hey, you shouldn't have brought it up, dude. I wasn't trying to fucking Charles conversation.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Cody, read the last 3 words of that sentence.
Those are read the last 3 words. Quarterback numbers, baby.
What are the last 3 words of that sentence, Cody?
Quarterback numbers.
What are the last 3 words? Last 3 games. Why don't you juxtapose
point.
those next to his career?
He should have been doing this the whole time. That's what I'm saying.
Put his career stats up.
Around the quarterback, and that's what you do. Now you're starting to see what he's capable of.
Look, we don't even dislike Trevor. The thing is that no, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Ryan Leaf joint, or there's just been people that they tell us that are not misses. And I'm not saying he's a failure. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I'm just saying is that like it's really those expectations you put on to be the Andrew Luck, to be the Cam Newton. Those people are far and few between. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. Even the most talented quarterback that you have evaluated in your little bubble of shit
needs a good team around him. Yes, and a good head coach.
Yes, the NFL is just harder than you thought.
Mike McDaniels, we're going to play that clip. He's a pretty damn good head coach. You know who wasn't a good head coach? Urban Meyer. That's also who wasn't a head coach.
True.
Where you go, Matt? And by the way, to segue this brilliantly back to Sam Darnold has never had stability around him. Not in 3 years in New York, and certainly not last year under Matt Rule. And we all saw how terrible Matt Rule was. So now that you see that this offensive line has the ability to protect, man, dude, I really do think that we can make a push this year. We're in it. We're only 2 games out of first place. And I have reasons to not think that Sam Darnold, given more reps, can continue to do what we're seeing him do. Hey, real quick, just so that way I don't forget them, because I will forget them. Super chat, Rock Ryan with the $5 says, what if we win enough games where we fall far enough in the draft that we have to go with Sam Darnold into next season? It's a tough.
We might be doing that even if we pick number 1.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, you really don't know. AU Link says, I'm all about C3 doing the charity work. I do think we will win the division. Sam has an O-line that can actually function. Who would have thought? And by the way, if you would like to donate,
this is something very important.
Yeah, if you would like to donate to our charity, I've pinned the link in the chat box, and use that link to donate to the charity if you would like to donate. Not the super chat, but that's the link that you're going to vote or that you'll donate to, and it builds toward the total money that we're going to raise for the Bradley and Nicky Bozeman Foundation.
Greg brought this up when he was pitching this idea, is he didn't want any murkiness. And not actually, I think CK was the one that said this, we don't want this to be murky as in, hey, give us money, then we're going to pass it along. Because look, I've already told you I was supposed to mail out some shirts. I didn't mail out that last shirt. So I'm just being honest, told you too honest. So we want you to donate directly to their foundation if you can. We have already put the C3 Panthers podcast put $250 up. Greg put 25 of his own dollars. We're going to put more up too as things keep coming. But bye week, we got through Sunday. We want to do something where, again, we're not big people on asking for donations and money. And support. I mean, we do beg you for thumbs up and subscribes and some stuff. And we do appreciate when you guys do help us. We've done a lot in building this podcast up, particularly my old computer died. We bought a new computer. We've had to do, there are some things to keep this running for 10 years that it does cost. Even the website that we just use as kind of a backbone of a lot of things costs money throughout the year. But it's not a wine thing. Is that we want to, this is our week. We're going to do this every year going forward. We're going to find a Panthers charity on the bye week and just devote some energy and attention to it. Mm-hmm. Cody, the beard, I don't know. Are we really? Look, I'm don't know. I mean, I'm almost, I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I'm happy for him.
Sure.
You know?
Why not?
Who else should we be happy? We should be happy for DJ Moore. Think about this. Yeah. How does DJ? This is actually the wildest thing. Even if Greg wants to tell us how the stats are similar between these guys, which the numbers lie on this one. I promise you, as I watched Baker, I don't care what the numbers said. He was terrible. We weren't in that to win it. But DJ Moore, Baker does not get the ball to DJ. It's that simple.
Yeah,
but by the way, real quick, White Chocolate Espresso with the 199 says, Spippity bap 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 better than tippity bap bap. Thanks for the super chat, Kev.
Like
You the man.
All right.
But
sorry. I'm sorry. I felt like I really took this podcast off the rails when I pushed Cody's pressure point.
You always do. And but I think the question about Sam is, do you believe that he can continue to grow and get better like Trevor Lawrence has? He has more games with over 100+ passer rating than Josh Allen.
Why do you need to get better if you're Trevor Lawrence? You're already the greatest.
Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Tom Brady. Do you think that Sam Darnold can continue to grow and get better like Trevor Lawrence?
Can he have 6 more? Or no, we only got 5. How many games we got left?
Once again, when Trevor Lawrence throws for 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and less than 2 interceptions, then you come talk to me about having good quarterback numbers. That's not even elite quarterback numbers. That's good quarterback numbers.
No, Sam Darnold. So
when he has that, then we can say he's good.
Is he not allowed to grow?
Yeah, no growth. Yeah. You got to come in here. And actually, I think this is the thing that people talk shit about Tua that I got a problem with. I talk shit, people that talk shit about Derek Brown that I got taught. Like, we can go through a list of people. And I understand that as hyper media like us, I mean, we're not part of the media, but we are part of the hyper attention on the game of football. Like, the more talk that exists on every little point does push these players to perform faster. So look, as people are saying Tua is a bust after year 1, and he's coming off and this is my thing is like, it's one thing to debate whether or not you believe Tua has the physical skill set to be a transcendent quarterback, or if he can be a very good quarterback worthy of the pick he had. I'm of the latter. I don't think you always have to have this transcendent skill set to be successful in the NFL. But I do believe that because of the way the internet, and it's not just the internet, just our society and football, we need results fast. And that's kind of why I poke at you about Trevor Lawrence. I don't really think that after year 1, whatever happened with Trevor Lawrence really is a referendum on him. But what I'm trying to, when I poke at you about Trevor Lawrence, is that hyperbole that we put on people for that instant return, and some players we give more latitude than others. I would argue that Tua has not gotten a lot of latitude until this year. I would argue, maybe we can go down a list of different players that haven't gotten that latitude. When it comes to the Carolina Panthers, though, we don't need I don't know what we need right now. We just need I don't know. Do we want to win? Do we want to lose? I don't really know.
Why would you want to lose? I
don't want to lose. No, I'm not saying I want to lose, but I don't know what I need right now. Do I need a playoff push? Do I just need one more win?
No, I think that you just need.
I almost feel like a completed pass to DJ Moore down the sideline is all I need. I'm like,
yeah,
baby.
It is like I think it's a one game at a time mentality. Be thankful that we are playing meaningful football, regardless of what this record might say to you, regardless of how bad this team has been. Every single Sunday that we play football going forward here on out is meaningful Panther football. We are playing for something. And by the way, people are like, oh, Cody, back a couple of years ago, you wanted to tank, you wanted to get the quarterback. So what's different from then to now? Well, I'll tell you what's different. We were never playing for nothing 2 years ago. The Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were running roughshod through the division, and we had no chance of competing even for a wild card in those scenarios. So, yeah, to me, those games were worthless. Now, the Carolina Panthers are in a dumpster fire NFC South division. Tampa is not good. New Orleans is not good. Atlanta is what Atlanta always is. Why would we not continue to pull for them and try and get a playoff game here at home, man. It always sounds crazy because all of the dumb shit that we've been through thus far this year, but it's actually the reality that we face. And dude, I think that we should just enjoy meaningful Panther football because we haven't had it in forever. And that's what I think.
Help feed families this holiday season by supporting the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation. Giant shout out. I mean, he already told us he was going to match up to $250, but you guys got to catch his $250. He put it in too early. Mike, we love you, our patron saint. You should have held it back so we got $2 more $50 because $250 of it was from the C3 Panthers podcast. So we need the listeners to go ahead and match his $250 now. But Michael Davis, $250. Fernando Fernandez, $25. Greg, the man that put this together, $25. Mr. Panther Pickle in there too, donating. Look, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to, and look, I told them, I said, this was our mission, is about uniting fans, and their mission is about strengthening communities. They brought this together. I think it's a cool thing. So you guys, you can check the pinned link on YouTube. You can find the description. There's a lot of different ways. You can find it on Twitter. I need to pin it on Twitter and different things like this. Let's do this. Let's do it. Oh, look at this. William Taylor said, refresh that. Boom. Oh. Holy cow.
Whoa.
He said refresh that, and he
my goodness.
won't lying, bro. He won't lie.
William Taylor with the $100.
Pop,
yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, and anybody who's on this donor list, like I said, you automatically get put in the drawing for some of this giveaway stuff that I'm going to have. So just let you know, there's a benefit to it also. So
wait until you see this. I bought, sometimes I'll drink some booze and go on eBay and buy shit to give away on the podcast. And so one night I was like, oh, look at these patches. I'm going to make like some coasters or something, like these cool patches. But then somehow I bought this one patch. I was like, I gotta buy this. It looks like an error patch. Ain't gonna lie. This might be the first patch ever made for the Carolina Panthers.
I'll put it up.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I don't know
That's
what
crazy.
it is. It looks ridiculous. It's like bad and
Dude, it's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
It's like terrible and bad at the same time.
Dude, it's
This is a one of like, I was like, I gotta buy this. I was like, $8, no problem. Anyway, we'll be doing all of that. All right.
Hey, I wanted to bring up too. Michael Davis just said in the chat, when we get to 1,000, he'll throw another 250 in.
Man,
so
look, I don't want to put
there we
any.
go.
Look, thank you, Michael Davis.
Yeah,
You're a
I
patron
appreciate
saint.
it. No
But
pressure
look,
at all, but
let
thank you
these
so much.
other
Yeah.
people do it, Michael. Let the other people do it. You are great. You are great. We love you. Cody,
Michael's
take
the
them on
man.
to the next topic. Let me just go make sure my kids got to sleep real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not really a topic. I just thought this picture was hilarious. That like, if you're Steve Wilks, you're trying to get your job based on one of these three dudes: Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker, and Sam Darnold. It's kind of like pick your poison, you know. Who do we actually trust going forward? All of them have had injuries at one point this year. By the way, Pal 73 with the $5 says Baker runs too far back before he throws. Let me ask you this. All things considered, if you had to pick a quarterback going forward that you trust the most out of everyone on this list, who would it be? Would it be PJ Walker? Would it be Sam Darnold? Or, I mean, I'm pretty sure no one's going to pick Baker Mayfield at this point, but Baker Mayfield. Like, which quarterback has the best chance to win down the road?
I mean, you're asking me if I'd rather throw up or have diarrhea right now. So, I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, but yeah, right now, honestly, it's Darnold's job to lose. He's come back. He's come back from injury. He did nothing in this game to say he should be taken out. All the other guys have shown reasons they should be taken out. They've shown reasons they should be in for a little while too, but he hasn't done that yet. So until he gives me reason to believe he shouldn't be in there, it should be Sam Darnold.
Do you have any fear that Sam reverts back to the means?
Of course.
Like the old Sam Darnold shows up?
I do, because history
that it happens?
I don't know, to be truly honest with you, because I don't know in his head what was giving him that. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. We have a better offensive line now. Like CK was saying, I've never seen him behind a good offensive line. Like, maybe if he has time to gel with these receivers and this team, get some timing down, and the offensive line continues to be as good as they are, maybe he is a good quarterback. Maybe he won't see those ghosts, but I really don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I'm not expecting it. Let's put it that way. I'm hoping it doesn't, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
sure.
CK.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but like after seeing a few games of both PJ and of Baker, I made a comment that I stand by, and I said that I never thought that I would want to see Sam Darnold start another game for us, and here I am hoping that he finishes out the season. Do I think he's going to be the guy? Listen, I don't know what to expect from him. I really don't. I can sit here all day and tell you that he's going to come in here and blow it up, but nobody's going to really know. And quite honestly, if there's one person you bet on to not do that, is probably Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's tough. Like, we're not going to look back on games past and think that Sam Darnold is like the guy, because all we've ever done is seen him fold. We've only ever seen him fold. However, I do think that Greg makes a point, though. If you put him behind this offensive line, which is better than it ever has been, don't put too much on this plate. Keep the playbook relatively simple. It's like, why couldn't Sam continue to show development? That's what we're hoping for at this point in time. And we're just going to have to wait and see how it goes, you know. I said
isn't there isn't it realistic to say this is that I won't say the criticism was wrong on Sam last year, right? Because he didn't play well in many of instances. But the finality that he was terrible, maybe too much. You know, I mean, like bad team, bad this and that. And I'm not saying that he deserves confidence necessarily.
Sure.
Where we should be like, oh, well, he could be this, he could this. But people did go to like, oh, Sam Darnold, fucking worst. And I don't know if he was that bad. I mean, I guess that when you bring up those touchdowns, interception numbers, they are pretty terrible.
I mean,
I think I don't know.
I think it's that we're so used to in the last few years of not having a guy that we've been able to back that as soon as somebody shows us that he's not there, we're just done with believing that he's there.
Right.
That he can be that guy, because we're just so ready to have a guy come in and work. We haven't had that yet.
Do you think we gave more latitude to Baker Mayfield this year or Sam Darnold last year?
Baker Mayfield this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we
or leeway. I don't know if latitude is the right word.
Well,
but you know what I'm trying to say.
I think the thing with Sam Darnold, the funny thing is he started out okay with the first 3 games, and so everybody was kind of on his side, and then he went like off the rails for the next 2 games, and everybody's like, "Fuck this guy, he is garbage," and he's done, right? So I mean, I think he probably got a little more time as the starter because he performed better than Baker did at the beginning of I guess those first 3 games where we won. But unfortunately, Sam, I think, came in here with no experience of showing any positives as a quarterback. And I think that's the reason that we didn't really give him a long leash, right? If he had come in here with a history of going to the playoffs like Baker was able to at least do 1 year to a franchise that hadn't been and won a franchise in how long, then I think that Baker got a little bit more of a leash because of that, if I had to guess.
This is from Padawan Panther, who just tagged us on Twitter. And he brings up a tier list, and he has Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold under guys who can blame their previous head coach for all their problems.
Oh, wow.
He said that
you online.
Yeah, he said seems relevant for tonight's show. and it's definitely relevant. Yeah, and it is relevant, and so much of a quarterback success is the team that they have with them. And you know, I'm not saying that Sam Darnold is a victim of the team that he's been on, but I'm saying it definitely hasn't hurt when you already have trepidation standing behind that line, going through your progressions, making your reads, and you don't have good protection, and you're not running the ball well. Like, that's a perfect scenario for you to never develop. So it's prove it season here in Carolina, and I'm willing to give Sam the benefit of the doubt the rest of the way until he proves otherwise. Just like I did with PJ Walker.
Can we talk about this offensive line? Well, you know what? I'm not ready to give up on PJ. Look, here's my thing. I'm not giving up on anyone. I'm just not throwing my support behind anyone either.
Well, I didn't get to ask you. Who would you trust down the road, Tony? If you had your pick of a healthy PJ Walker or a healthy Sam Darnold, who are you starting?
Sam Darnold.
Why?
One, I think, is more in-game experience.
Sure.
Right. So he has played for the Jet. Like, I mean, he's just had more starts, more reps. I don't know if I feel like this is that the same weakness that PJ has is Sam Darnold's weakness, which is just the ridiculous, worst bonehead interception. I mean, they both throw the pick six. They both throw the, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like the dumb. So I don't know if like one outweighs the other. So I don't feel like it's like PJ is necessarily less turnover prone. Like, I felt like that's what we were trying to prove with Baker or something before, that he was a more accurate quarterback, and it turned out he wasn't. So I feel like I'm just saying, what category ultimately does PJ outweigh Sam Darnold in? They both have kind of similar arm talent. They both have.
Yeah.
I would almost say this is that I just want the fact that Sam Darnold is coming in behind a good offensive line in a different situation. Maybe, and he's got the beard. The real thing with Sam Darnold was he was mentally broke, in my opinion.
Fear the beard.
You know, if he's not, I just don't have a lot of overall faith in PJ in more than just a couple of moments.
Well, I don't know why, but in the moments that we've seen him do well, like, it's been impressive. Don't get me wrong, but like, when we've seen him do bad, like, I know you could probably point out a million things, but it's felt like PJ's bad has been more like a problem of him being overly confident, and just it just feels like it's been worse. And I know that sounds stupid, because I know you can probably compile an entire list of things that Baker Mayfield, or I'm sorry, that Sam Darnold has done, and or some of those throws that he's made, and show where that statement doesn't necessarily hold as much water. But just when I recollect the games that I've seen with Sam Darnold and PJ Walker, I feel like Sam Darnold just, I don't know, maybe it's just that he throws a prettier ball. I don't know, but the dude, it feels like he's going to be a little more consistent than what PJ is able to offer.
Is it a wrong answer for me to say that I don't necessarily prefer one or the other? Because I said this at the start of the year, our offensive line is now good enough, and we're going to talk about that next, to the point. As a matter of fact, let me just up. Our offensive line right now is the 5th ranked pass protecting offensive line in all the NFL. Our offense
how is that possible?
People.
Think about this. How is this fucking possible? Number one, in any universe, the Panthers pass protection line being this high just in any universe is kind of wild. Second, how can it be this good and our quarterbacks can't throw over 200 yards? Like, not a single. Look, Baker got under a 50% completion rate. PJ, PJ had a 0.0 at one half. How can this offensive line be this good and our quarterbacks be this fucking atrocious?
Dude, It's insane, man.
Bizarre.
I mean,
we're in a fucking parallel
but
universe.
I mean that. To be honest, that does lend credence to the people who say that we are a quarterback away.
Right.
You mean Matt
You
Rule?
know, oh, dude,
Yeah,
we're
let's
gonna
bring
talk
him back.
more about.
Let's bring him back. Let's bring him
We're
back.
gonna talk more about Matt Rule here in a second, but I mean, just looking at what we've been able to do, like we're putting up good numbers, and the fact that we're doing that better than we ever have before, that's why I don't really care too much if it's Sam or PJ Walker, because like they're both kind of comparable. You're not going to ask them to do a ton, but they have shown that on the clutch third downs, if anything, PJ Walker, well, with more time, has been more clutch during those big third down have to have it passing plays.
You can't really say that. You can only say that based on what you saw of Sam Darnold last year and PJ this year. It's not a 1-to-1 like we have a 1-to-1 with PJ and Baker this year.
Yeah, but couldn't I say that I have just as much evidence of PJ doing it and being clutch later on in football games than I do of Sam Darnold doing it?
Yeah. How do you have that? How can you even say that?
What's your evidence? The Atlanta game this year that we were able, or that was
PJ's played
close.
3 games, right? 3 or 4 games. Sam has only played 1.
Yeah, I'm talking about PJ this year versus the majority of what we saw from Sam last year. I don't feel like
that's
Sam
what I'm saying. It's not
apples
to apples, though. That's a PJ this year versus Sam last year. I don't think that's a entirely apple to apple comparison.
What I'm saying is that, to me, PJ Walker, you can make the argument that he has been more clutch in clutch moments than Sam Darnold has ever demonstrated for the Panthers. So again, I don't care too much, man. Like, there's so much good and bad film from all of these dudes. I'm trusting Steve Wilks to make the decision that's going to be best for the team moving forward. And if that ends up being Sam, all right, I'm fine with it. But I'm telling you, I'm also okay if it's PJ Walker too.
How about can we just agree it's not Baker?
Yes.
I think we can all agree with that. Yes.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm sorry. I'm really, it turns out I don't know anything about football.
What?
I did not see it coming.
That
it would be this bad. That's it. That it would just be this bad. I didn't think that Baker was going to come in here and win 10 games.
But to be honest with you,
he couldn't win one game, bro. He didn't even win one game. The one game we won with Baker at quarterback was because the defense scored.
Based on what we've seen from Baker, we had
bro.
no reason to believe he was not going to come in and be at least a serviceable quarterback.
Sure, I agree.
Because had Deshaun Watson not become available, Baker Mayfield would still be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Believe that.
I'm
they
hoping
would never come off him if they didn't get
bro.
Deshaun Watson. So they didn't get rid of him because he was garbage. They got rid of him because they got a better quarterback.
Right.
Talent wise. I'm not gonna
They refused his trade request. Because they couldn't get Deshaun Watson. Like, they thought he could be a guy still.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted an adult, remember? That was the rumor.
Right.
And I think they made that up to try to bring his
wanted
value down and everything else like that to try to drag him through the mud.
So bullshit.
They wouldn't have said that if they were keeping him.
But they got a fucking sexual offender.
Right.
And
did you hear 10 of the defendant or 10 of his accusers are going to be at the game in Houston with their lawyer, Tony Busby, to show that they're not going away.
Nice. Good for them. Good for them. And I just don't look, I am a proponent of, I don't want to condemn someone before they've been, but just because you haven't been found guilty doesn't mean you are guilty. Right. You aren't guilty. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that have been let off the hook who were guilty. So I don't want to hear that argument that is like, well, he wasn't found guilty. That doesn't mean anyway, I'm not rooting for Deshaun Watson. And I am sad to say that I was considering the football selling of my soul for him at one point. I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna go to confession.
Yeah,
I'm going to confession. But I hope he doesn't do well. That's messed up. Maybe.
I feel like most people feel that way. Most
people are messed up. But can we just
the Browns, like the fact that that he's a Brown player. When do quarterback decisions ever work out for the Browns?
Right.
Now I will say it's almost like karma on the NFL. If even after all of the terrible stuff that he's reportedly done, okay, we're all hoping that you fail.
If he hoists a Super Bowl championship and we got
that's what I'm saying. What if he balls out and now he's like a premier quarterback every time you want to talk to him, it's like you have to mention this naughty no thing that the NFL doesn't want to talk about. So it's almost like if you're the NFL,
every time he scores a touchdown, it'll be like, there he goes, nutting on our face one more time.
It's like you have to expect that the NFL kind of wants the Browns to fail as well, I would think.
I would think so. All right. Can we just real quickly, I know I drag all this shit out, return to the offensive line stuff. One, I want to be first is we have a left tackle.
Yes.
We have a left tackle.
Yes, we do.
One question we need to maybe ask, and it might be a poll question. It might be something we need to put on a Debate My Take or somewhere else later in the show somewhere is Icky's season on the verge of eclipsing Rashawn Slater's rookie season? Rashawn Slater was an all-pro, I believe, his rookie season. Not only a Pro Bowler, but an all-pro.
Yes, it was.
Like, is Icky having not only a season in the same vein, but one potentially even better? My question. And I don't know how we can fully calculate that. But we haven't had a left tackle since I started this podcast. So, one, win. Two, this line has statistically performed, as you can see. I guess my question to you guys, and trying to elongate this conversation about the offensive line, is how do we keep this next year when we really need it? Like, what do we got to do? And I think that one name, Bozeman, is important potentially. Brady Christensen had 2 penalties in his last game too. I think one was bogus. But like, what do we need to do to keep this offensive line like this? Do we draft another player? It might not be a bad idea at this point. It's like, while you're good, just fucking keep loading that bitch up.
I think if you're in a position in the draft where there's nobody available that we need more than the best offensive lineman there, like if there's still a solid offensive lineman on the line and we have no shot of getting a quarterback or a middle linebacker that we want, it's a reach to pick anybody else, then yeah, I say go for it. But at the same time, I feel like with it being solid like it is right now, we can build on it with free agency and developing other players. I mean, we don't have to sign any of these guys, right? They're all under contract.
Bozeman's the only one.
Bozeman.
Okay. But that makes it relatively simple. Pay Bradley Bozeman.
Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
not only.
Yeah, but you're one injury away. You're one injury. I almost say this is like when I'm trying to think.
You're always one injury away.
Right. But what I'm saying is, how do you keep a strength a strength? We've never had the offensive line as a strength.
Well, if
we finally got. I would not be upset if the Carolina Panthers sign Bradley Bozeman and then maybe allocate a 3rd round pick to a guard or a center, right? Like where like a high 3rd round pick.
Okay.
Maybe even a 2nd.
So
I would not be like incredibly upset if you go, oh, you're like, oh, we need a linebacker. And they go out of Utah, badass guard. And you're like, you know what? I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for allocating resources to your offensive line. We also have to remember Cade Mays is on this team, and a lot of people are very excited for Cade Mays and his ability to be able to fill in at guard and center. Austin Corbett is on a 3-year deal. We've already signed Taylor Moton. You already mentioned how fantastic Kevin Quandu has been, rivaling that of a Rashawn Slater his first year. Hey, Christensen, yes. Does he need to work on the penalties? Absolutely. But again, keep in mind here, his first ever season playing guard full time, and he's a part of this team. Like, yeah, he's ironing out all the kinks and the details.
Is he the weakest link, though?
Probably, but it's still a pretty strong.
People would say Moton might be of the offensive line at this point.
Okay.
I don't think Brady Christensen is a weakness. I just know this, Cody. I've listened to the broadcast, and they keep saying this. The last game, they must have said it 40 times in the broadcast, and that is the Carolina Panthers, outside of Bradley Bozeman, are starting the same 4 guys every week since the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And every year that the Carolina Panthers have good, or any offensive line has been good, they've stayed healthy. I understand that, right? I mean, think about even Michael Orr and Mike Remmers in 2015. At least they made it to the end. I'm just saying this is that everything is a plan until my boy Kev reminds me, my bastard son, what old Mike Tyson said. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Yeah. And so, like, think about this. You go in, you have a great roster, you're getting better as a team, you do all the things, and then your starting right tackle goes down in training camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to be ready to not destroy a season because you don't have the depth. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think you are safer picking offensive line for depth in that case than anything, even if you think you got the guys.
The problem is, Tony, is if you draft offensive line and you don't play them, then they're never going to be that great of a player to replace who they're.
We drafted Terrace Marshall Jr. We didn't play him,
and he's not a fantastic wide receiver. I mean, case in point.
You don't think of it like that, Greg. Is think about this: is Taylor Moton is showing signs a little bit of potential deterioration.
Yeah,
and you got one more year with them. Is that like maybe they don't play a ton of snaps their rookie year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to contribute as a teammate.
Yeah, and hey, can I just say that?
Snaps.
Can I just say I still think we might have some more of those answers on our roster. That's right, dude. I don't give up on the tank when I make it. Deontay Brown. Yeah, that's a name you haven't heard me say in forever. He's still on our practice squad. Has lost up to 50 pounds. He was it was near 370. I believe now he's down to around the 320 mark. So congratulations for just losing that much weight. That's an incredible amount. And I still maintain that when you go back and look at his film, he is a very good football player that has been utilized very well to this point of his career. So I do think that we have options on our roster right now, but it's such a weird problem to have that we're talking about how do we keep our offensive line together, not how it down, tear it apart, and try and get all the bums out of here because they're getting our quarterback killed. It's like an entirely new thing for us, man. But listen, before we go any further, let me take care of a few points of business. I did read Panther earlier. She said Baker runs too far back before he throws. David Screws says with the $2 love bomb, says next 5 games are winnable. I absolutely agree with you, David. And you know what else I think that we can agree on? Our buddy CK has the best damn pipes in all of Panther Nation. I can listen to him read me just about anything in the world, and it'll sound so sensual and so sweet. But I'm here to tell you that there's nothing more sensual, there's nothing more sweet than the sounds of shame coming from that man, Codizzle Allen. Talk to him, Big Papa.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you've joined in here to talk about the Carolina Panthers yet again. here we are with hope, with optimism. Damn the Panthers, right? But damn does it feel good. And that's why you've come here to talk about it. But you haven't hit that like button yet. I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
$111 viewers, 52 thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live, man. Help us beat the ass of that YouTube algorithm so that way we can get in front of as many Panther fans as possible. Helps us grow, helps us do our thing. And, man, we want to continue to grow C3 Panther Nation. That way we can continue to do a bunch of cool things for the fans, doing charity stuff, as you can see. Dude, we're having a great time of it, man. Growing this channel and growing the fan base. You guys are the most important part of it. Tony Dunn, you're back just in time. Let's talk about our boy, huh? Everybody's boy. We all miss him. We all miss him. The old swindler. The old, selling holy water late at night, doing infomercials. The man, Matt Rule, has done it yet again. He must be so good at selling people on his 7-year Jay-Z vision. Because how about this man got an 8-year contract with the University of Nebraska. The dollar amount is absolutely insane. Joe Person put out Matt Rule's backloaded contract means the Panthers, who still owed Rule about $8.5 million a year, presumably will pay roughly $3 million difference for 2023 and $2 million difference in 2024. It's also possible that the two sides reached an agreement on the offset. This man, in his first year, from now to December 31st, 2023, $5.5 million, and the final year of his contract will be $12.5 million. Dude.
Dang, dude.
You guys
What's the? Sorry, I restarted my computer. Am I crazy loud?
No.
Okay. All right. So I think things are working now. How much was he paid in total by the Carolina Panthers? I know people are going to give you the $63 million number, but he had 2020, right? 2020. He had 3 years of salary from the Panthers, I believe. Right. I mean, he got fired this year. He's not going to get paid by them in the year coming up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so he probably got $24 million from the Panthers in the last 3 years. And then he's going to get $8 million each year going forward. Mm-hmm. How much is the buyout on this? I'm kind of interested in this, as I talk shit about Matt Rule, but like, he might be the best businesman.
Look,
he's a swindler.
He's failing up.
Are you a swindler when you get people? There you go, Greg.
He's failing up. Yeah.
That is it. That is the right. Yes.
Like some people don't deserve anything they have, and you wonder how they get to where they got, where they can continually fail where they are and just keep getting. Cliff Kingsbury, I can say. Honestly, I feel like Cliff Kingsbury is in the same kind of position. I guarantee you Cliff Kingsbury is going to get a great college job next year. He's going to fail up. Like, it's just crazy how it works out. I have no idea why it works like that.
Did you hear that Matt Rule did an interview with Peter Schrager after he was hired as the Nebraska head coach, and he was asked what he would do differently in Carolina?
What did he say?
He basically kind of said that he wouldn't have taken the job. I have the clip here.
Oh God! Please,
you learn from your
I have to hear this
as a head coach, and in the same vein, if you could do it all over again, what would be the one thing you would change, looking back on it? As obviously it didn't work out with Super Bowl victories or anything like that.
I think I probably would just probably taking another job. You know, I mean, it's a great place. The wonderful people, but I just don't know if I was a fit there. You know, at the end of the day, We talked about, hey, we're going to have a 4-year plan, a 5-year plan. If you tell me, hey, we got a 2-year plan, then I'm going to go sign a bunch of free agents and do it. So, what was a 4-year plan became a 2-year and 5-game plan real quick.
Wow.
And
interesting.
It's not about, hey, it's not, and I'm not angry about it. At the end of the day, I understand. But if it's going to be that quick, then we're going to sign some more free agents. We're going to go make the blockbuster trade. We're going to do those things. I think the trajectory that we've on is correct. It was to have a team that next year could maybe make a big trade that could. I think you see the signs of it right now. When they play well on offense, they win. There's a good defense there, and I give Steve all the credit. I give the coaches all the credit, but I'm part of that building process. And so had that just stayed for maybe through this year and maybe made the big free agent signing this year to get them over the top, I think that the Panthers could win the NFC South for years to come.
Dude, how bad can you possibly get,
bro?
Man? Not like you didn't like what? Okay, you thought it was more acceptable to come in and only win 3 or 4 years down the road, not 2 years down the road. Why don't win as soon as possible?
And where was this pressure from? Where was this pressure from, Matt Rule? Please tell me an owner who gave you full entire control of this team, who also lets you go in and backtrack from your mistakes that you made, and even gave you a longer leash into this season than you ever deserved in the first place. How are you? You're the one that accelerated the plan, Matt Rule.
Yes.
You cannot act like Tepper was putting this pressure on. Matt Rule made the entire bed. He decorated the house. He picked the menu. He said this. He told us it would be like if we got married and somehow the husband said, you know what, honey, I want you to enjoy your wedding day. I'm going to take care of everything. And it's going to be the most gorgeous wedding you ever had in your life. Don't worry. What you thought you could do on your own, I got. And then this wife comes in there in her beautiful dress, expecting a beautiful wedding, and you got it catered by the fucking local cafe. You fucking had the DJ's late. You promised the world, Matt Rule. You promised. We gave you the plan, and you're the one that fucking strayed and deviated from the plan. Right. Cody, I cannot tell you how I look. I don't do this.
It's so annoying, man. And now you're going to pretend like, oh, well, if they would have just given you more time, oh, but then you would have made the big free.
Play it one more time. Can we play it one more time?
The big blockbuster trade. It's just absolutely bullshit, man.
Listen to this, but listen to him, folks. Remember, he had total control of this team. He made every decision. He made the staff. Where is this pressure coming from, Matt Rule? Please let me hear this again.
And what would be the one thing you would change looking back on it, as obviously it didn't work out with Super Bowl victories or anything like that?
I think I probably would just taken another job. I think it's a great place. The wonderful people, but I just don't know if I was a fit there. At the end of the day, we talked about, hey, we're going to have a 4-year plan, a 5-year plan. Right. Hey, we got a 2-year plan, then I'm going to go sign a bunch of free agents and do it.
Who said that?
What was a 4-year plan became a 2-year and 5-game plan real quick. And
interesting.
It's not about, hey,
no, it didn't.
And I'm not angry about it. At the end of the day, I understand. But if it's going to be that quick, then we're going to sign some more free agents. We're going to go make the block.
Look,
you shouldn't have needed someone to talk quick.
No, again, throwing everybody. Look, I don't play this. I've never played it on purpose, Cody.
What?
It's going to be the first time.
Bro, that shit was whack. Go kill yourself real quick. Don't do music. It's trash.
I've only played it on accident. That's the first time in the history of this podcast.
Those.
Look, no, I cannot tell you how angry I am right now.
That's
I did not hear it. I did not hear it until you played it. So I did not know this was coming. This is a raw reaction from Tony. I had no idea this.
Yeah.
What a sniveling, backboneless, whatever it is you need to say. I have never heard that is the least accountability you could ever take. And he went on this little stupid parade where he tried to kind of be nice and he kept saying relationships. I almost feel like Matt Rule is a hidden PR guy, he's an agent hidden in a coach's body, trying to say things. This is fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, what I'm hearing him say, what's crazy about this statement is what I'm hearing him say, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm mishearing this, but he's basically saying if he knew that he wasn't going to have 5 years to turn this around, then he wouldn't have taken the job. Is that what I'm hearing him say right there?
In a nutshell, yes, what it sounds like. He
I don't even
talked
think
about
it's that.
the changing of the time periods.
Well, no, because
he's basically basically what he's saying is that David Tepper and him were under the idea that it was going to be a 3 or 4 year plan, and he coached and built the team accordingly. However, if he was on that much of the hot seat, then he would have done more trades. He would have done more things earlier to make up for that different timetable.
Right. Yeah, so what I'm hearing him say is that he believed that he had 5 years to turn this around, not 3 years, 5 years.
Correct.
Because like the reality of it is what he's basically saying is I built a team. I was going to build a team. Yep. It just, they didn't give me enough time.
That's what he just said he did. He has not implied, he just straight out and said that the top-down pressure placed a different, a different vision of what was trying to happen. Literally, he did not say he was at fault. Or not at fault. I don't even need you to say you're at fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, fault means like it's, there was not a single moment where he gave a little penance to anything you could have done better. He just said it didn't work. He said this. He said, I don't think it was a good fit with people. Tell me who these people are. There's only two. One is David Tepper, and two are the Southerners who are the football fans. And look, my mom's from Queens, New York, but I was born in Winterville. I think I am a Southerner. I just have come to accept this shit. Like, I used to think I was Italian when I was a kid. Man, I'm from Winterville. You know?
Bro. This dude,
this guy is a carpetbagger, man.
This is he is the darkest moment in Panthers history.
Yes. He's a fucking backstabber.
The darkest moment in Panthers history. And I know that we can look back to a lot of bad times in Panthers history, but Matt Rule as a whole is absolutely horrendous. He's obviously he knows how to speak, but at the end of the day, he hasn't said once that it was his fault that the team, like, I should have been better. I could have done this better. I could have done that better. It was all about if the circumstances had been different, if the situation had been changed, if I had more time, no, you do not come in here and show consistently getting worse. Like, that's the thing. You started out, the first year wasn't the worst year in the world. I know we didn't come up with like a winning season, but damn, I mean,
no, it was his best season. Year one was his best season.
How many games did we lose by just one possession? It was ridiculous, right? All of those things. I mean, that goes the other way. He's coach of the year, right? Then the next year, absolutely garbage. You pick up a guy that's unproven. You pick up his 5th-year option. We can blame who you want to. Matt Rule still has some sort of a say in that as well. And he's unfortunately, he's the person who's been here the longest. So you do that, and then you trade for Baker Mayfield. You put Baker Mayfield at the top of the pecking order after having a charade of a QB competition, and the team got worse. Like, it didn't even get anywhere. Like, we started out 3-0 last year.
Mm-hmm.
He went 1-5 or whatever it was. It was horrendous, and it was bad losses. It wasn't even like. Some of them, the first two were within one possession, but you talking about the 49ers game was the one that did him in? Like, that was absolutely horrendous. Like, it was painful on every possible level. Mm-hmm. The dude is clearly the worst part of this.
I have changed my mind about Matt Rule on this one thing, guys. Is I used and this has been a matter of the last 22 minutes probably that we have been talking about this, or 18 minutes. I have questioned. People keep saying this. I was listening to my friend's radio station, the one I go on, like I listen to them in the car, taking my kids places and stuff. And they were talking about Matt Rule going to Nebraska. And the guys followed this team pretty closely, but not Panther fans, but that's fine. They weren't saying anything ill-informed, but they said Matt Rule is a good college coach. That's what they said. They used the word proven college coach. And I know I'm anti-Rule at this moment, like to a real degree, especially after I heard this shit. But I messaged my boy on the show. And I said, I think that proven might be like, is he really proven at the college level? All right. So he had a winning season with Temple. He had a winning season with Baylor. But like, is that truly proven, or is he just actually done pretty, decent at that moment? You can look at his rank things. I felt like we overly praised him for what he did a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I felt before I heard this, guys. Before I heard this. After I heard this, I realized he is truly a college coach. And the reason I mean this is because a college coach has to be a liar. They have to sell you whatever they need to tell you. If it's on the recruiting trail, they need to sell to the parents. They need to sell to the kid. They need to do whatever. But here's where the real line comes in at the college level. The good coaches rub elbows with the boosters.
Yeah.
They rub elbows. And you know what? It turns out that we thought that not even the parents, the alum, the rich dude that's going to give $1 million to the sports, to whatever, or 10 million or whatever it is. This is what I just realized at this moment. I thought Matt Rule may have been a preacher, but he's not. He's a fucking not brandy, whatever.
I thought you were going to say bootlicker.
But whatever rich people drink, that is whiskey. They're drinking the special bourbon. They're drinking bourbon. Like, he can go from house on Tuesday night, talking with the car dealer and this and that, and fucking stab the booster in the back from the night before. He is a hustler, bro.
He's a maester from Game of Thrones. That's exactly what he is.
No,
looks good on the outside, but he's got some deep. Yeah, telling you.
No, maesters are up to some. Definitely up to some conniving bullshit.
No,
but Tony, before we go to the
rub elbows with these people, dude.
And he is a bootlicker. He is a bootlicker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just
tells you what you want to hear. He does
what the boss man says.
3 weeks. Fuck him, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't trust him, dude. I wouldn't trust him with taking my girl to the store.
I'm so glad y'all are on my
hill. And by the way, there's this is an excerpt of Lip from his introductory press conference.
But I just want to ask, as you're looking to build this program, what types of players and people are you looking for to help you build this program to what you think it could be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I look at Nebraska, being a Cornhusker, at the end of the day, with corn, it really is elite. Corn is corn 24/7, whether it's yellow corn, it's white corn, it's sweet corn, it could be cream corn, heck, you can throw it on the grill, you can roast it in the oven. At the end of the day, you get candied. You can have candy corn. I really want guys to pop, right? I really want popcorn. At the end of the day,
so good.
Looking for people who want to be part of Nebraska, who want to be one of us. I'm really looking for the elite popcorn. So at the end of the day, I'm looking for corn.
He should have hit him with a little Orvin Redenbacher or whatever it is.
Horrible Redenbacher.
I have never been this mad at an individual, I don't think, ever on this show as I am right now with Matt Rule.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's no longer.
He just lied.
It's no longer a problem, man. Yeah, it's just. But look, He's a
Can someone play this now?
Man.
Can we get Panthers drafter to listen to this with us?
Oh no, he still likes Matt Rule, don't you?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god! All right, what's next? I gotta get fucking mad, dude.
I have an idea. Why don't we do some of these cat calls?
All right. Well, I gotta get my phone ready. Get into the intro.
All right. Well, how about well, it's gonna take a minute. So how about this? But while Tony sets up the phone.
I mean, I just had to pick it up. Just had to pick it up. Go ahead, play the intro. I'm ready.
Then.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
I got it. Hold on. I got it. One more.
Hurry up, damn it. You're holding up the show.
Can you hear that?
Lines are getting impatient.
Nope. Don't hear nothing.
No.
Too loud?
Don't hear
no,
nothing.
Don't hear nothing.
For them to win 4 out of the
There you go.
Hey,
Restart.
Tyler here. Hope you're having a good night. I'm definitely buying what the Panthers are putting up right now. I definitely think there's an opportunity for them to win 4 out of the 5 games. I really think that's a possibility and possibly win the division. I'm definitely rooting for that. I'm buying that Steve Wilks definitely is earning the head coaching position, whether it's here or somewhere else. But I'm just not sure if he's going to be the head coach for the Panthers. I really think quarterback is such a big need that we have, and I really think that David Tepper is going to want a great offensive-minded coach. Unless Steve Wilks can find a great offensive coordinator to develop a young quarterback, I just don't see Steve Wilks he's been, he's obviously from the Ron Rivera tree, and how they both view how the game should be. I just don't see them matching up. I could be wrong, but and I wouldn't be mad if we did hire Steve Wilks. I just think with where we're at and how bad our quarterback play has been this whole year, we need someone that can come in here like a Ken Dorsey, an offensive-minded guy that can help develop a young quarterback or have the potential to develop a young quarterback. Because that's really what's held us back, right? We have, Sam Darnold played really well, or I would say he played decent last week. He's had, he had a pass that should have been an interception, and he had a fumble at the goal line. So if two of those, Sam Darnold threw that interception or made that fumble, and the Ravens recovered, we would be saying how bad and how horrible he played. So obviously Sam Darnold is in the future, but he made it. If we can run the football, him not make mistakes, take a couple of shots downfield, I think we definitely have opportunity to win the games moving forward. I just don't think I'm not going to bet my money on it though. I think that it can happen, but if I'm betting money, it's not going to happen because Sam Darnold, we forget to remember last year, guys, how absolutely horrible he was. Yes, it was behind a bad offensive line, but decision making, you got to have a quarterback that makes very smart decisions, and I just don't trust him moving forward. So it'll be better than Baker. It'll be more consistent compared to PJ, but I just don't see it happening. Hope you guys have a good one. Keep pounding.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
That's a fair assessment. I don't expect anyone to look at our current situation and say, "Oh, I'm a no doubt believer. We're gonna win." I understand the doubters. I understand. I'm just saying that this team has become more competitive than we thought they were going to be a few weeks ago, and we are depending on a lot that we haven't seen.
Or even last
Sam
week.
has to stay. Yeah, Sam has to stay consistent. Steve Wilks has to continue to call a great game. The coaches have to call great games. So I understand the trepidation, Tyler. I don't know what else to tell you, man. It's still prove it season. Right now, we have a ragtag group of little quarterbacks that could in PJ Walker and Sam Darnold, and we're just going to have to hope that they can find some kind of rhythm that they haven't been able to consistently have in their past.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting here talking. I want you guys to think about this as I play the next call, if it works at this point, because I might just mute it by accident. 2 weeks ago, was it after we were asking if Wilks had done enough to earn the job? You know what I'm saying? I think we asked that question 2 weeks ago. If Wilks had done enough to secure the potential job. So, as one more week happens, right, which we just had, where again, actually the last 2 weeks, the Ravens, the defense, then you get Sam Darnold and he get a win. If we were asking that 2 weeks ago, at what point does the question become that much harder to answer? Think about that as I play this call. And I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. And I'm just trying to say is that if 2 weeks ago we were asking, what are we supposed to say after he racked up 2 wins with Sam Darnold? Next call. And he hasn't done 2 wins yet with him yet.
Hey. You know the fuck it ain't. Boyka! This isn't G, baby. But for the second time in about a month, I've got to address that clown. Yo, G, let me explain to you how the NFL works, because it doesn't appear that you know. All you seem to know how to do is call people dumb when they say something that you don't think is right. It is very hard to tank in the NFL, okay? Which that is a great thing about the NFL. No one wants a tank, unless they're you. But really, who wants that? All right? That's my first thing. Second of all, that is the exact opposite of everything we stand for as Panther Nation, which is keep pounding. You're talking about giving up, throwing your hands up, checking out for what? A player who ain't done shit in this league? A player from a league that is so different that Nebraska just ignored Matt Rule's shit show that he had here and gave him an 8-year contract? A league where Trevor Lawrence, I'd hate to do it to you, Cody, but I gotta say, Trevor Lawrence in year 2 is 4-7. And he's in a similar situation to what our quarterback is in. He just now, in his second year, got a real coach. All right. He's in a similar situation to what PJ Walker and Sam Darnold are in. Baker Mayfield isn't in that situation because Baker Mayfield is he has been with the Browns, and he's another example of a first-round pick, a highly touted prospect. And what has he done? And I know you think Baker Mayfield sucks because you said it.
He does.
And Sam Darnold, what has he done? He won that game. I'm not saying anything about that, but look at Sam Darnold's situation. All right? For every Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and guys like that, there's players like Baker Mayfield and Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence who they could work in this league, but they need the coach to develop them. All right? And if a quarterback like that was going to save your team in the way that you act like it,
do we lose him?
Telling you that with
Trevor Lawrence,
hold on. Sorry, man, I may have touched my phone. All right, here. Look, he has a part 2, so we'll go to that.
Hey guys, it's Joey again. for part 2. Yeah, I know we're trying to go to one call, but damn it, I'm the Blind Panther, and and it's a bye week, so it's kind of slow. But yeah, what I was saying is guys that are, if a quarterback was that important, like people like G-Baby act like it is, then why the hell do we have 52 other players on the team? Like, why? If a quarterback is so important that you just intentionally lose all season to draft them, knowing that they haven't played a snap in the league, come on, man.
Ask Cody.
I really don't understand that one. But anyway, guys, without further ado, wow.
I mean, look.
Ask you about Trevor Lawrence. That's the
no.
same
Look,
thing.
this isn't even
no
about
different.
Trevor Lawrence. It's not even about Trevor Lawrence. It's about when you draft a quarterback. Do you have the coaches? Do you have the team? Do you have everything you need to help that quarterback to thrive and flourish? And I think that's a great point. But I also think that what Joey's talking about is that there's no guarantee that we're going to be the right place that can accurately build up that quarterback and train them properly. So it's almost no point tanking for a quarterback. I kind of feel like that was his long way of saying that to kind of counter G-Baby's point.
All right. We'll go to an early call. This was from Monday at noon. So this, I'm guessing, is about the post-game show.
I'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's Corey calling in. I called in yesterday post-game. I was still at Grandma's house for the holidays, and services not good out there. So I gotta redeem myself real quick. I was talking a little bit about like the winning division versus a better draft pick angle, and I mean honestly, like I was kind of hemming and hawing, but like I don't necessarily care too much about having the top two or one or two picks because it's not that likely anyway. And again, like I'm not huge on Stroud or Young. Like I don't really know what to do with quarterback. Like I don't really have the answer for you. But I don't necessarily still want to win the division because I just don't think we're that good of a team. Like we're any of the number one seed or any of the better teams that we go up against in the playoffs is gonna get ugly, right? Like we've taken advantage of some of the teams on our schedule, right? Some of the quarterbacks we played in one game to show that we're not like under Steve Wilks, we're not fucking hopeless, right? But I still don't think we're good enough to really make noise in the playoffs like that. So I want to stay within like a top 10 range just so we can get like an elite level talent. But some point that I wanted to make yesterday, I got cut off before I could. Just Brian Burns, man. We were singing his praises yesterday. I'm watching the show right now. Goddamn. But yeah, just to give him his flowers. Like I've been in the camp. I was never in the Trey Brian Burns camp. Everybody who says he's a good player but doesn't take over games. Like he took over yesterday's game, and he's coming into his own. He's coming into his prime. I'm so glad we didn't trade him. He's 25 years old, got double-digit sacks for the first time in his career, with a chance to get even more. And Tony, like to kind of go on your point where you're saying like it could have been like as soon as we went into the year not extending Brian Burns or whatever, like he was always gonna play out this year and see where it goes. So again, it was either trade him or sign him to a big deal. And yeah, now he's a young, great player who's going to sign to a big deal. That's what you do. I'd much rather have him and pay him what he's worth, maybe a little bit more what he's worth, whatever you want to, how you want to do that, than to not have
paid him this past summer.
So yeah, overall, good dub. It's always better on a Monday when the Panthers win. But again, like I don't think we are necessarily a good team. Like Sam Darnold can, do what he needs to do if we have a good running game and the defense is playing well and everything is set up for him. And, I wouldn't even necessarily hate having him as a backup next year too. But like, yeah, I just kind of want to stay within a realm of possibility with this team. That's where I'm at.
But then we don't want to win anymore. Then you don't want to win anymore. And I think that your call helped me realize this is that if we win one more game, we should be rooting to win to go to the play. We should be rooting to win every game.
I hit that point last week.
Yeah,
that's the point I hit last week.
Momentum point now
That's
to
the point I hit.
where you've already played yourself ultimately out, right? So if we win one more game, we've won 5 games.
Yeah.
And we are right where we were last. We're picking at that at the very best. We're picking at that 5 to 10 range.
No, Tony. Right now, I don't know if you know. I mean, I know this can fluctuate. There are 10 teams. That means a third of the entire league that only have 4 wins.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like my fantasy league.
Dude, it is. Yeah. It is absolutely insane. It is so bottom heavy and top heavy. There's not many 5 and 6 win teams.
Yeah, if you win one more game, you're done, bro. You're like a winning.
You win one more game, you are drafting 15 or 16.
Might as well go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Might as well give us an extra week on this podcast about something to talk about. You know, you never know. Was it the 24th? Somebody look this up. When did the Carolina, or in the chat will probably know this, we played a home playoff game against the Cardinals, and they had to start this dude Skelton, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And like basically they got to the playoffs with, who was the guy from Cincinnati? Palmer? Does that sound right? The Carson Palmer? He went and played for the Cardinals after the Bengals, and he got them basically through the season, kind of like a Matthew Stafford acquisition, except for it didn't work out and he got hurt at the end, I'm pretty sure. And so I think about this is not only could you back into the playoffs, but imagine if you played a team where they were playing Cooper Rush.
Right.
Oh my God. One more game. If we win this week, you know what? We're going to the Super Bowl, Cody Lashley. That's what
I'm believing in them now.
I look at it like
one more game. I'm in Super Bowl mode.
Why wait for another game? Start believing now.
Because
look at it like this. Do you think
good.
that Sam Darnold? Do you think Sam Darnold behind this offensive line with Deontay Foreman, with DJ Moore, with the defense that we have, can play as well as Nick Foles did?
Yes.
Because that's all you got to ask yourself. If he can play as well as Nick Foles, he can win a Super Bowl if he gets playoffs.
Sam Darnold.
I'm not saying he's going to. I'm just saying it's possible.
No, the Eagles were dope, man. We're not dope. They were a dope team.
I don't know, man. We got the top 5 offensive line. We've got a top defense.
Yeah.
Like we've got
we've
got some pretty good spots. It's pretty good stuff, man.
We ain't that good.
We're not that good. No, we're definitely not that good as good as they were.
I'm just saying we're not a great team.
Why do you think we aren't as good as they were?
I think that they were a dominant team at that point in time. What was their record that year they went to the Super Bowl with Nick Foles?
Exactly.
Like if
you got to keep in mind they didn't go to the Super Bowl because of Nick Foles. I mean, he was a big part of it.
That's what we're saying. They went because the team was great, not because
right. But
that's what we're saying.
We've been dealing with
not a great team. We're not a team.
What
where
part of our
just
team
one
is
piece
not as
away.
good as their team was?
Our offense,
every
not as good as their team was.
Our
defense may be as good because we have a really good defense, but our offense is not as good.
Can you remember anybody? Like you may be able to name one
pull
person.
It up. Let's pull up I will promise you, bro.
Who do you remember from that offense?
Games. You cannot.
No, I'm not. Here's my point for they benefited from great quarterback play all year from Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate that year.
That's fine. That's just because they were winning.
Yeah. I hear what TK is saying. That is the difference. You can make the case that right now, with our receivers, with our offensive line, with our defensive line, and with our defensive backfield, the only reason why we are not viewed as the Philadelphia Eagles is because our quarterback position has been the worst in football.
Please don't look at the roster. Name one offensive player on that team other than a quarterback. Do you remember anybody?
What year was that?
I'm not asking.
No, I'm trying to remember the year, what it was. No, because I don't remember. That's asking me players on a different team,
good
like
point.
5 or 6 years ago. No,
their
yeah,
best player, Nelson Aguilar was their best player.
Yeah, I'd take
Yeah.
DJ Moore over
That's
Nelson
not true.
Aguilar any day.
He must have been a rookie.
No, he was pretty young.
Oh.
He was pretty young.
He
He
had
was,
to have been a
it was-
rookie then.
He wasn't a rookie, no. It was Nelson Aguilar was their best offensive weapon. They had
Alshon Jeffrey was.
Oh, yeah,
They
Alshon
have
Jeffrey had a
Fletcher
good year
Cox
that
and a
year, yeah.
defense on the other side, bro. I remember
So,
that. It's
we
like
don't have
Fletcher
we
Cox
don't have
and
a Derek Brown. We don't have a Brian Burns. We don't have a J.C. Horn shutting down number one wide receivers.
It was 20. Is it 2017? Okay, it was 2017.
You know what's funny is, Tony, is you just said that if we win one more game, you're going to be all in. So if we
Yeah,
win
like
one
I
more
want
game,
them,
you're
like
going to
we-
be agreeing with me and CK.
How about this? Are we better than the Giants the year
listen,
that
stop.
the Patriots
Stop
went 15,
y'all
16-0? Are we better than that team? Because that wasn't a great team. They backed in the Super Bowl as a wild card, and they went on a wild ride. But I'm just saying, all it takes is a playoff berth and to get hot at the right time.
They were
All you gotta do is-
13-3
all you gotta do
that
is win
year,
4
bro.
games in the playoffs. That's all you got to do is 4 games.
With an
Y'all are on
MVP
track.
candidate, Tony,
You're
they
on
had an
track.
MVP
13-3.
caliber quarterback.
No.
Tony's
They
so
were
scared.
Quarterback.
Tony's just so afraid of
No
all
way.
these
All right, let's
dumpster
look at
fire
it,
teams
kid.
in the
Nope.
NFC. Like, which one of them is markedly better than us? That you're like, oh, they destroy us. Every
No,
single
I'm
time.
saying you are spitting. It's like offensive. If I was a Philadelphia Eagles fan in a team where they,
But
went
you're not. You're supposed to be a
13-3.
Panther fan.
No, I'm just trying to look at this realistically. You can't compare the team. They're a 13-3 team. We're the
Hurts, yeah.
opposite of them.
First was
We're
their
the
best
fucking
Their
offensive.
lost
opposite.
record. You're just comparing their win and
Carson-
loss record.
No,
What was
Look.
the rest of their division
Yes,
like that
you
year?
are.
Just out of curiosity-
13-3 is
curiosity,
like the
what was
most
rest of division?
incredible season ever, bro. There's only
Because
one
they
other
had an
season
MVP
that I've
caliber
been a part
quarterback.
of that was better, and it was with the Carolina Panthers. I'm telling you, you cannot shit on a 13.
Nobody is shitting on them, Tony.
You are
Not a single-
saying we're equivalent except for quarterback.
We are saying there was a major difference, and that was the quarterback. Everything else is pretty comparable. Like if you look at it from that perspective, everything is pretty comparable. If you go position for position, there is a very good chance outside of tight end with Zach Ertz that you're going to be like, oh, we might be better than them in that position. You know, running back is the question mark. Wide receiver, for sure, we were better. You know, I wouldn't say for sure without Terrace Marshall coming on a little bit stronger, but Terrace Marshall is basically Nelson Aguilar at this point. If you can get a quarterback to get these balls to these guys, then if you got a defense that's dominant right now, like right now, we have held teams to less than 10 points in 3 weeks in a row, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm sorry, less than 13 points in a row, or 13 points or less, for 3 weeks in a row. Like we're one of the best defenses in the league in the past 3 weeks. Right. I think I am not shitting on them. Honestly, my point for saying this is that I think this team is way better than, you know, at least again, the way that it looks on the outside is way better than what people are giving it credit for.
Alshon Jeffrey was on that team.
Right.
What were the stats that year?
Zach
Not better.
What were stats?
Okay, not better
What was
than
it?
DJ
All right,
Moore. Okay.
Alshon Jeffries had 57 catches, 789 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
That's weak
not
sauce,
a bad
dude.
year.
That's
Weak
weak
sauce.
sauce, man. Are you kidding
Less
me?
than DJ Moore.
That's weak. That's
not.
That's wide
he's
receiver
not.
3
He
numbers.
is.
Wide receiver 2 numbers.
He is not as good as DJ
No,
Moore.
listen to this. And you guys are right. Wentz had a good year that year.
They had a great
Yes, he
year
was
that
an
year.
MVP candidate.
Hands
That's
down
what I'm
MVP,
saying.
Yeah.
But
That's
let's look
the
at their
difference
defense.
between
They
us
have
and
Fletcher
them.
Cox. They had Malcolm. They had 2 Pro Bowlers. They were a
We've got
good
2 Pro
team. It
Bowlers.
was more than just Wentz, though. They had LeGarrette Blunt.
But what
LeGarrette Blunt had
Blunt was on the
it was
back end of his
wild.
career.
Think about this: is he had 173 rushes for 766 yards. So yeah, we get a
That isn't
1,000-yard
good
rush.
at all.
No, for the number of attempts, that is.
No, it's not. That means he's
Yes,
like
it
less than
is.
5 yards per carry.
What year was that? 2018.
Well, duh. Like, I mean, 5 yards per carry.
Less
That's like
than
the
5
great-
yards per carry.
Yes, 5 yards per carry is like the best season
Less-
ever for
no.
a running
We
back.
got Deontay Foreman. You're still making
3
our
is
point.
Deontay
Three
Foreman
is-
is 6
Tony,
yards per
Tony.
carry right now.
You're making our point. These are very football
Y'all are
teams
crazy.
in more ways than one. The only difference is they had a quarterback that was an MVP candidate most of their year, and we're going through a quarterback carousel from hell. More importantly, how about not even the Eagles? Could the Panthers not do what the 49ers did last year? The 49ers won the wild card and they made it to the NFC Championship game. Look, it's one game at a time. And as we said, going forward, there is no reason to believe that any of the teams that we're going to play ahead of us is markedly better than us. They're just not. I think we're going to be competitive in every game that we play. Whether or not we win, who knows? But once this team finally gets a competent quarterback, oh, dude, we're off to the races.
What did they have to win? That year they had to win the divisional round versus the Falcons.
Oh, Nick Foles had one of the most incredible postseason
They won
outings.
15-10 versus the Falcons that year. And then when you're I think the one you're referring to is 38-7 versus the Vikings in the NFC Championship.
And can I be honest too, Tony?
41-33 over the Patriots. Frank Wright was their offensive coordinator.
Tony, you know, if we win this division, we get a home playoff game, we're likely going to be playing the Giants or the Cowboys.
I'd much rather play the Giants.
Cowboys choke every year in the playoffs, and we can beat the Giants. The Giants are not that good of a team. We can beat the Giants. That's what I'm saying, man. There's a chance.
I just think you guys sound delusional where we have 4 wins, and you're not only
Tony, you're only looking
because
at
the math
the
doesn't add
win
up.
losses.
Yeah, the math doesn't add up, but it's possible, dude. It's there.
The win losses is the only thing that you're looking at that's like, oh, they were this good and we haven't won this many games. Yeah, you don't have a quarterback, you're dead on arrival. Now
you're just saying any given Sunday. Your argument is just a fancy way of saying any given Sunday.
You haven't proven at one point how they were a markedly better team than us, other than their record.
I mean, I feel like
they didn't have a better receiving core. They didn't have a better defensive backfield.
Yes, they did. Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, and Nelson Aguilar is better than who we got.
That ain't shit.
Do you think Torrey Smith, when he came to our team,
this motherfucker forgets how good Alshon Jeffrey was, bro?
Do you feel
He's
like
not better than DJ Moore?
Where's Alshon Jeffrey right now, Tony? When's the last time you saw his name?
He's probably 35 years old right now.
Right,
I mean,
you're
where is
talking about him
Torrey?
being like...
Where is Torrey? Whatever.
Where's Alshon Jeffrey?
That's what he asked. But he's old. That's where he is. He's old now. That was 5 years ago.
Right. But the point is
that he was on the back end of his career.
And he also dominant. He just read his stat line. It was not a dominant stat line.
Those are not dominant numbers by any stretch of the imagination.
No, but when you when you look at actually the way the ball was distributed, listen to this. They had Aguilar had 8 touchdowns that year. Listen to their core, man. And this is where Wentz did have an incredible season. Listen to these numbers. Aguilar went 62 catches for 768 yards, 8 touchdowns. All right. That's a good season. 62 catches, 770, 8 touchdowns. That's more than DJ Moore has ever had in any single season.
What does that mean? Yeah, he's never had a quarterback.
Alshon Jeffrey, 57 catches, 789. So he had 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. Then you had Ertz, who had 74 catches, 824. These guys, they 3 had the same exact seasons, 8 touchdowns.
Better quarterback play.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should go get Carson Wentz this offseason.
Fuck no. He's already.
Why? Where's Alshon Jeffrey though? Where's Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz got injured and he never was the same again.
Great.
Well,
and Michael Johnson
Alshon Jeffrey got injured like 7 times and was still doing that shit.
Michael Johnson with the $2 says we've been in this exact situation before, Tony. Just saying. And we did. We won that game at home. In 2014, we got a home game in Carolina and beat the Arizona Cardinals. Why are we all of a sudden not capable of doing a similar thing this year? We've already established that you're not. We've already established that you're not tanking for a specific quarterback in this draft.
I'll give you 3 reasons. 3. You want to know 3 reasons straight up?
Let's hear 'em.
Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. They were on that team.
Okay. I mean,
who the hell is on this team that's going to go into a playoff game and win anything on this team? Come on.
I see. We should just let Tony feel his feels and move on, dude.
Next call. Still
What's up, C3 family? It's your boy, 89J Subs. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving holiday. Everybody's kind of back at work now and smooth sailing. But happy Victory Monday to everyone. I just want to say that quickly on Steve Wilks. One, he hasn't lost at home. So when we're doing hey, should he be rehired? Should he not be interim, or should he be the regular coach? There's a couple of things. I think if he can get to 5 wins this year, which is what Matt Rule has done every year, if he can get to 5 wins, which means he had to win one more home game, which he hadn't lost yet. And the home game thing for me is huge. If you can win at home, that's half the battle. And I think that he has a chance to win this, and I trust him. A couple weeks ago, me and Cody had a conversation, and I said, when's the only time you've seen Brian Burns take over a game? Well, we just watched it. I think he completely dominated. Couple batted balls, one that ended up being a fumble, 2 sacks. I think he was completely dominant. So hopefully moving forward, he can, reciprocate his play. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. I hope Steve Wilks can win the next 2 home games, and the rest could be history, because I think we got, even someone like C.J. Henderson, they're putting him in position to play good football. And that's all I want.
You said this.
Anyway, guys, later.
C.J. Henderson gave up the only touchdown this week, right? C.J. Henderson is still absolute garbage. He had me in that call until he said that.
I think Michael Johnson, though, in the chat was being facetious when he mentions Sam Darnold, Shaq Thompson.
You don't think?
And C.J.
I thought it was
Henderson.
being serious, bro. Of
But,
course it was.
look, no, I can say
joke.
that.
It's a
I
fucking
can
great
say
joke.
Brian Burns. I can say Frankie Louvu, Derek Brown,
Jeremy Judd.
And none of those people even hold a
Jason
jockstrap to one name in 2014 that I was
You're
talking
living
about.
in yesteryear. You sound, Tony, you sound
That's
pathetic.
pre-2015. All those players still hadn't had their best season.
You need to start snorting some of this hopium, bro. Have yourself some hopium. Start pulling for this Panther squad. We can go as far as we want to. All we gotta do is run the ball.
When have I not
play
pulled
good
for him?
defense.
I'm
saying
not
you sound
pulling
like
for him. What I'm
such
trying
an
to tell
old
you is this.
curmudgeon, man.
No,
You
you're
sound like an
comparing
old
them.
curmudgeon.
You are comparing them. You're like
He's
if
so
you went
curmudgeon.
and put up 18 points at the church league one day, and you're like, you know what? I bet you if I
Tony,
fucking walked on to the Hornets,
this
I
is
would
the-
fucking
Th-
help
this
them
is
out.
Tony.
That's what you sound like.
This is the type of year that leads to a 2015. Isn't it coincidental that 2014 year, where the division was so bad, we got a playoff game, beat the Cardinals at home, and then the next year we put up our best year of Panther football ever? That's how you do it, man.
Did we do it with a brand new coach with a
no ma-
quarterback we
how
never
about
heard
this?
of?
How about this? No matter what happens this year,
You are on the drugs, bro.
that the Carolina Panthers have a great nucleus to build upon going forward, and all you have to do is get some adequate quarterback play, and this team can go as far as we want to. Fuck out,
You
Sean
sound
Jeffrey. How
worse
about
than
that
Matt
shit?
Rule. You have
Fuck
been
out, Sean
drinking the
Jeffrey. How
Matt
about that?
Rule.
You're mad at Matt Rule, not me. That's what it is. You're still pissed off at his ass.
I am,
because
but you
Derek
sound
Brown.
like him. You
Dude, we have
sound like
better
him.
players.
You just said a great nucleus. What you just should say is a nucleus.
Top 5 offensive line. DJ Moore is not as good as we're able to see because he doesn't have a good quarterback throwing to him. You saw what he was capable of doing with Sam Darnold extending the plays. Like, we have all the talent. I'm telling you, we have all the talent.
You know what? You're right. We should have just given Matt Rule one more year.
Should have traded the
that
farm.
is.
No,
All Matt Rule. All Matt
Please
Rule
don't say we should have
needed-
traded for Trevor Lawrence. Don't
Yeah.
ruin this
We should
conversation.
Matt
trade- we
Rule-
should
Tell
trade
us,
for
Cody.
Trevor Lawrence.
What do we
Don't
need?
ruin the
Let's trade for
dude.
Trevor.
I'm behind you so far until you start talking crazy like that, man.
Let's trade for
But
Trevor.
here's the thing: you missed this, the coach too, because here is what are we missing? Because if we're just missing those two things, then we should have just kept Matt Rule and got him.
No,
but that's not the case.
You're doing
it's deeper than that. It's deeper than two things.
You're gaslighting now. That's 100% what you're doing. We have
I don't even
a
really
damn
know what that
good
means.
team.
I feel like you're gaslighting me.
No, you're trying to say that I make a point that I'm not saying. No one said that we needed.
You
Matt
said you
Rule
were
for
2
another year.
places away.
We have
away.
a good nucleus
You
of.
said great.
Yeah, our offensive line is the top 5 pass protecting offensive line.
Is it nucleus or nucleus?
Dude, the chat has got me tripping tonight.
I'm just doing the George Bush thing.
David Screws. David Screws says, "I agree with you, Cody." Bump Tony.
Bro, no,
yeah,
listen to Daniel Castro. This is look, the chat got me fucking tripping tonight.
T Baby is back. You're T Baby. And that's why you like G Baby so much.
You're right. You're right. Next call.
My brothers, how you guys doing?
Nick.
Not gonna lie, I've missed you guys. Been a little MIA the last couple of weeks. Looking forward to the Friday free for all, but man, this year has been a fucking year. Okay, just everything that's happened, all the injuries that we've had, which, let's face it, compared to some of the NFL, it's been next to nothing. Okay, yeah, we've had a couple of guys go down. But I mean, in reality, who have we lost for the season? We lost a kicker who we replaced. Okay, and then we also lost Dante Jackson, who we never should have re-signed him anyways. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I know I'm going to piss somebody off. And then we had the issue with Matt Corral, but, we had Baker and Sam, and the plan was never really to start Matt Corral this season anyways. So it's not right. This season has been a season. Firing Matt Rule, changing over to Steve Wilks. But guys, we fixed the O-line.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It was something that I didn't think that we'd be able to do in one off season. But sure as shit, we fixed that O-line.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can live with the QB conundrum that we have right now. The fact that we fixed that O-line, I am more than happy about. Okay. And let's face it, we're now finally giving Sam a chance to sit behind a good O-line. Something that we should have done last year. We are basically a year behind where we should be. The only problem is we are going into next year without knowing who our starting quarterback is, and that is a big, big problem. I don't want to see Sam back. I don't want to see Baker back. And I wouldn't necessarily mind having PJ as a backup, or if he can compete for the starting role and get it, hey, I'm for it. Because I think that dude with an offense tailored for him could be dangerous. Okay, yes, he's had a couple of off weeks this year. But I think with a little bit of time and an offense that's actually geared towards him, I think he'll be just fine. But curious to see what's going to happen with Sam. My money is that he's probably going to be named the starter the rest of the season. And I hope Wilks names Walker as the backup for the rest of the season too. So love the show, guys. Keep coming.
I want to say this is Matt Rule made me so mad, and then Cody just throws gasoline on it for me. We forgot to do prize picks. Oh, but in good news.
Hey, before we do, can you read this from your bastard son? He started his take as much as you read his donation since he's your fucking illegitimate progeny over here.
Well, I will read it because this bitter losing Clemson fan over here won't read it as they got beat by South Carolina. White Chocolate Espresso with a $4.99 love bomb says this: Jeffrey's second year had 1,421 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. Third year had 1,133 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had 24 TDs in his first 4 years. DJ through his entire career has had 14 receiving touchdowns. Put some respect in Alshon's name.
There's a flaw in that stat that he doesn't want you to see, though.
Y'all just talk shit about Jeffrey, and maybe not y'all, but Cody did. And that's all. We don't need you to say that DJ Moore ain't good, but don't shit on Alshon Jeffrey, who arguably was more successful than DJ Moore.
I'm not going to shit on Alshon, but can you put that stat back up, because there was a flaw in that stat, and this is and Kev, I love you, man, but this right here, you notice how he says second year, third year, then he brings up how many touchdowns he had in all 4 years. Do you notice that? So he added the first year and the fourth year in there to make it look bigger. To make it look bigger, that's all I'm saying.
Well, no. What he's also saying is just look up how many touchdowns DJ has had in his entire career.
Let's put
I
up
think
DJ's
that's what he's
yards
saying is
on the first 4 years. You got to compare him.
In his first 4 years, he's saying he has had 24 touchdowns. So compare that directly to DJ's first 4 years. I think that's all he's saying.
That's
DJ's never put up more than 4 in a year. But
that's saying that touchdowns are all that makes a good receiver.
No,
that's what that's saying.
He actually listed all the 2,000 yard plus.
He listed Jeffrey stats for 2 years, but he
other
included all 4
argument,
years in the totals.
The other thing you've got to take into consideration is the horrendous quarterback play that DJ has played through. Like you can't.
Jeffrey played on the Bears and the Jets, bro.
The Bears. When was he on the Bears?
We're worse. How about that, Tony? We're worse.
That's where he started at.
We're
Jay
worse.
Cutler, I think.
Wasn't he?
These past 2 years for the Panthers have been worse. That's right. I said it. When you go from
all right, can we do the prize picks
to Bridgewater?
Sorry, let's go. I forgot. Well, we got a lot of viewers right now, so it might have been a late read. And this is our best sponsor, like my favorite sponsor, because I love them. But the good news is while better late than never, A, and B, we waited until we have the most live viewers of the night. We got 127 people watching. Thank you. Smash the thumbs up button. Go check out PrizePicks, your site for daily fantasy football sports. I can't tell you how much fun it is to play PrizePicks. It's almost a little bit too much fun. And when I say too much fun, is that I give them extra reads on the radio because I just like playing it. So, yes, they are our sponsor. And if you use the promo code C3, your first time you deposit money on PrizePicks, you will get a 100% deposit bonus for up to $100. And then you can go and have a lot of fun, make real money. And what you do is you find multiple players, a minimum of 2 players from 2 different teams. And they give you a projection about what they're going to do in their fantasy number coming up, and you just have to pick if they're going to do more or less than that number. And so what we like to do is we like to look at PrizePicks through the NFL, and the Panthers have been an interesting bag because we have a lot. The one thing I've learned about this is that we're emotional on this show, obviously, and that influences the way that we make our prize picks. So sometimes I almost feel like we do better when we look at other teams. But we like to look at the Panthers and look at the upcoming matchup. Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Who are we playing? Oh, we got.
We have a bye. What are you talking about? We have a bye.
So we got to find something else to do. So, Greg, can you pull up the schedule for this week?
Yeah.
The overall NFL schedule, and what we need to do is find a game that we like. You know, everybody look at the schedule. I think that's how you really find a player is like, let's look at a team that we like or something in that effect. So if we think about this, Buffalo is heading to New England.
Oh, I like that rushing yards for
44 and a half for Josh Allen. That's a lot, dude. For
do his numbers. His
I would go with the over on that.
He's good. Yeah, he's good for that.
I'd go with the over on that. So you want me to read the games off? Or?
Can we just put it up real quick? Can we just can you share it? And then everybody, Cody, we'll all look at this real quick and just eyeball 2 or 3 games that we are interested in, and then we'll look at the numbers going down.
Oh man,
week 13 right here. So
got Bills Patriots. Mm-hmm. Thursday night game.
Jaguars and Lions. Get Travis Etienne to run all over Detroit.
No, he's
just
hurt.
Give Trevor Lawrence the above on everything.
Travis Etienne is hurt, dude. went out after 3 plays in that game and a foot injury. He thinks he's going to come back. He's done, bro. Right now, if you want to get on the Jags, you got Trevor Lawrence versus, is it in Detroit or in, yeah, it's in Detroit, 240 yards passing. Christian, you know what? That's not a bad number because Detroit's offense.
They have a horrible defense, though. Horrible defense.
Right. And their offense is good. This could be a shootout. I'm going to put him on the list right now because
do the numbers. Let me see his numbers.
240. Easy. Yeah.
Let me see his numbers.
Hold on.
Yeah, I would take that.
Wait, don't act like you're a prize pick veteran. All right, let's go back to
I would take that, man. Why not?
No, I'm interested in it. I'm putting it on the list. Let's go back to the schedule. So we had the Jags, Lions, Titans, Jets, Vikings. You know what? I don't love the Jets Vikings game because Vikings, you're going to want to take every offensive player, and the Jets defense has been pretty good. Or not pretty good, very good. Go and look up the tweet about the Jets, guys, where their first round class this year. Like, they have like 6 starters from their draft, dude. And they're all fucking slaying it.
Yeah.
Like,
those drafts
crazy. It's wild. They got like one of the best rushers. They got the best core. Well, yeah, Sauce Gardner.
There's no game
like
look that tweet up.
Hey, look
Not
up
right this
Seattle.
second. Y'all listening. That's
Look up Seattle. Look up Seattle. Look up Seattle on PrizePicks.
All right, who they playing?
They're playing the Rams, and the Rams are trash.
Seattle.
Yeah, the Rams are a pretty safe bet to be a garbage team. I'm pretty sure the Rams have decided they're tanking the rest of the year.
You're not
going to have
Walker?
65 and a half. That's
no, let me see his numbers. Let me see his numbers.
Oh, he killed it, bro. He's done that, won that. Oh, last 2 games he hasn't. He still had touchdowns, no?
But they're playing the Rams, dude.
Look up. Will you look up, Greg? Will you look up? Actually, I'll look. Somebody look up Kenneth Walker's stats. I got him on my fantasy team. All right, let's pick another. I don't like anything off of that right now. I don't feel good about any of that.
What do you want to know about his stats?
What he did over the last couple of weeks. They said he only hit I feel like
he had 26 yards last week, 17 the week before that, and 109 the week before that.
Well, look, he had 2 touchdowns. See, that's the thing is no wonder he hasn't had a ton of yards, but he still gets. All right.
The 49ers
yards. The dude is less than 2 yards per carry.
I know. Well, that's yeah. All right. Another good game to think about would be.
I think that Nick Chubb 90.5 against Houston. I think Nick Chubb's got a good shot of getting 100 yards against Houston.
Yeah.
First Deshaun Watson game back. Do they Deshaun Watson just hand the ball off the entire time?
Yes. They should. He should hand the ball off just about every time because he hasn't played in over a year and a half, and Nick Chubb's the best running back in the NFL.
Okay, give me another good game too. Let's see.
Austin Eckler, what's his stats look like? Because he's actually like the top number 3 back in the NFL. Austin Eckler, believe it or not. Fantasy wise, at least. I don't know about real life, but fantasy wise, he is. I have the number.
This is this is Russian. Let's go to something else.
Do you want to know who the number 2 running backs are in fantasy? And this doesn't necessarily correlate with professional, like the football league, but Josh Jacobs and Austin Eckler are the top 2 fantasy rushing running backs, and I have both of them.
Oh, you know what? I would take the less than on this probably.
Deshaun, you can do it. You can do 2 Browns players.
Yeah, I probably would too, just based on where.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna how good I feel about it right here.
Imagine
I feel
how
better about
for Tua.
I would.
I take.
I'm putting less than there too. You think Jimmy G's gonna throw 230?
No, but I think Tua will throw over 265.
Oh, hey, Herbert versus the Raiders. The Raiders don't have a great defense.
Look at how big that number is. Jesus.
Yeah, because that's like less than his average. He's averaging more than 300 yards a game this year, which is insane.
It's numbers.
He's the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Like, sorry, I hate to say it, but Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. So,
I don't know, man. Good God. I don't know how I feel about any of the receivers this week.
What's that? Debo with 53? That's not bad. That's pretty low.
feel like they have like so many people on that team.
They do.
I don't know if I love CD Lamb. Who's he playing? Indy. They're gonna.
Indy's got a good defense.
Sunday night.
Hey, we need to start listening to White Chocolate because this man's the one who's winning. He said Christian Kirk 65 yards versus Detroit. That's a damn good one.
Taking the less on that or the more?
Yeah, but Zay Jones was the star last week.
They have 7 people though.
I agree with White Chocolate. Christian Kirk, that's a good number.
All right. Yeah. All right. Derrick Henry 85 against the Eagles. That's tough. Look at that. 47
higher because they just lost Elliott. What is his name? Mitchell.
All right. So look, is this what we're gonna do? Is now we got to make some picks. All right. This is what we've highlighted, and we can eliminate players entirely. So let's do this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Imagine if we went for all of this and made it.
You might as well.
How much would that be?
Depends how much you put in.
Let's just
do it.
10 times whatever you put in if you do a 5. So
200. Just do it.
All right. So I like more for Trevor Lawrence.
I like more for Trevor there too. I like more for Nick Chubb. I like less
for Deshaun Watson.
That one
I like more for CD Lamb, to be honest. Just destroying Indy.
What's his stats?
Or are they just going to run the ball against him?
He's not that great. I mean, he's
yes,
a pretty good guy.
He's fucking
no,
incredible.
He's not.
See his numbers.
Yeah, he's not a great guy. I mean, he's okay. He's a good receiver, but he's.
How do we find it? Where'd it go?
Go back to CD Lamb.
But Dak Prescott's getting hot. So
yeah, but Michael Gallup has been eating a lot of those yards up.
That's true.
It's really about if they just run the ball on him.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
saying he's going to get that if they pass the ball. What do you mean? 106.
Well, he has 106, 150, but look at all the other ones. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
all right, he's not my favorite in this one because they might run the ball and just win it. So I'm going to take him off.
Yeah, that's the one I feel the least safe about.
I like this.
Do that. Go all 4 with those.
Who did you?
Look, how about this? Is we took one person off and we didn't lose any money.
Yeah, there's no difference between 4 and 5.
So you should never.
May as well just go 4.
We're gonna do this.
Go all the way,
bro. I've lost the last 3.
So what? Don't be a coward. You always tell me to go all the way.
All right, done.
Boom.
Done.
I feel good.
PrizePicks.
I feel good.
Yeah. Promo code C3. All right. Can we go back to the calls? Good gosh, sorry. This show has gotten out of control because of me. Sorry. I got mad about Matt Rule.
What's up, guys? This is Chase. I was on the bandwagon of tanking for a quarterback, but I think we're past that now. So I'm rooting for us to win. Winning division, is it still in the cards? Yeah, it is. But we need some things to happen with the Falcons and the Buccaneers for that to be achievable. So now, either way, I think we're drafting somewhere in the middle or top of the middle of the draft, which is fine. So Brian Burns, I was on the train of Brian Burns was, on the overrated side, but after this game, I'm coming around. I'm coming around. Yeah. With Steve Wilks, I was on the side of I'm not so sure about Steve Wilks, but I'm coming around for him to be in consideration. I mean, who else you going to get? I'm not one of these Eric Bieniemy guys. I think there's a reason he hasn't been hired as a head coach. I don't think he's the one that's really calling plays there. And Cody, it's been 367 days since Clemson's been able to beat South Carolina. Go Gamecocks, suck it.
Enjoy your. It's been a while. Enjoy it.
At some point, we gotta wonder: is there a skeleton in Bieniemy's closet?
I mean, I just don't understand what else could there be.
There's one because I was listening to my friend talk about this, and he is a Colorado grad, and Colorado football was good in the 90s. And then they got hit with like some cheating stuff, like people getting paid or something. They had Cordero Patterson. Eric Bieniemy was one of their good players. They had like these three. And so they need a coach. And they were asking, well, look, as you see these college coaches going these places, getting this big ass money, Bieniemy would be a great fit to go to Colorado. And he's not getting the buzz anymore in the NFL. He's not going back. He's not going to college where they probably welcome him with open arms. What is the issue is what they were saying. And at this, almost, is it beyond collusion? Is there some, they said there must be something stinky with him. Like, I don't know. Next call.
What's up, C3? It's your boy Anthony from Charlotte calling in. Just wanted to give my thoughts on the state of the Panthers right now and how last week was. So I went to the game. I've been going to a lot of games, actually, since this is like my last year before I'm going to figure out where I'm going to college. But, yeah, it was a fun game. Ground and pound, simple football wins games. I mean, I was a big Dante Foreman fan when we signed him. I thought even when the guy was still on the team, he'd still been getting 10, 11 touches a game, which probably would have helped because this guy is a bulldozer. He's a beast. Russell Wilson's garbage. I think we all knew that. Okay, I'm really praying that it happens to Deshaun Watson too, that he's just garbage as well. Because
I kind of do too.
I don't know what it is with these franchise quarterbacks. I mean, but getting back on the Panthers, sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. Yeah, I thought Sam Darnold played a great game managing the clock and getting us downfield. I want to say this, though, because I've been getting into some Twitter wars with, accounts, fans from the Panthers. And you guys know that I'm still a Baker Mayfield fan, okay? No matter if a player sucks or not, I'm still going to be a fan of him as a person, regardless. And I do want to say this. In the one game Baker had a great run attack, we won. So I know Baker sucks. I know he throws out interceptions. All I'm saying is I'm putting an end to this debate right now. No matter what quarterback you have out there, P.J. Walker, even Matt Corral on a boot, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, it all depends on the run game, okay? We've seen what P.J. Walker looks like, his true self, when there is no run game. And that's the difference between our pedestrian quarterbacks and a guy like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the run game for Buffalo, okay? Thank God he's a good thrower, because if he couldn't throw the ball, they would be a bad offense. So my point being, so happens that every time Baker started a game, the run game has got 30 to 40 yards, not 150 to 180. That makes a huge freaking difference, guys. And I'm not trying to over-exaggerate anything here. Yep. I just want fans to understand. It depends. It doesn't matter what quarterback you throw out there. Now, Seattle's had trouble stopping the run. So I don't see us having problems.
It's Anthony from Charlotte, correct? Good name, by the way. My mom's in the chat. Hey, Mom. And, and my son is saying grandma. My mom is not going to get this joke at all, but well done, Kev. Well done, Kev. And, that what you guys brought up is, though, and I said this, as Greg said last week, was the win that put him on the precipice of being in.
Right.
And I want the team to win every week. What I'm just saying is this is like, I mean, each win that stacks up, now we just might as well win another one.
Right. We're past the point of tanking. Like there's no point in tanking now. You might as well try to win.
Don't tank. Like we just turned out to be too good to tank. How about that? We fired our coach. We got Sam Darnold in there, and now we're too good to tank.
Yeah.
What kind of bizarre world are we living in?
There's no one to tank for, man.
No, we can't tank. We're too talented. Like you said, we're going to win the Super Bowls.
That's what I'm saying. All those things.
Yeah. I mean, like,
there's no
we
reason.
can't tank when we're as good as the 2017 Eagles.
But hey, how Carolina Panthers would it be for this to be a year that we went to the Super Bowl? Like how that would be a Carolina Panthers thing to do, to start the season 1-5 and then go to the Super Bowl.
No,
it's not going to happen. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl.
We went to
we're
the
going to the
Super Bowl.
division.
We were good teams, though. Has a team with a losing record ever won the Super Bowl?
I think the Giants did. Didn't have a losing record. The Giants are the only wild card team they ever.
They were a wild card.
They were a wild card.
I think they still had more
losing
wins than losses,
record.
though.
Yeah, they did. They were 9-7, I think.
Chat. Tell us.
There's never been a
this.
losing team or losing record. I don't believe.
So, like, you're also. I think this is at this point is a win next week just means a win after that means we should just try to get a home playoff game. And think about this: Tepper would win monetarily if we got a home playoff game.
Oh yeah.
What
are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Pull against the Panthers being in the playoffs just because our billionaire owner is gonna reap the benefits? Like he's gonna reap the benefits no matter what. He reaps the benefits every year.
Right.
Like we can't win without him winning.
Yeah, so it's like that's a zero-sum game. But like you said, Tony, we're far too talented. And
I was being facetious.
No, you're right. We're far too talented. And the fact of the matter is, Trevor Lawrence in this year's draft, dude.
Oh my God.
There's really no.
If I have to see that baby face girl one more time, man, goodness gracious! Like I've never wanted to punch a girl so bad. Never wanted to punch a girl.
I'll tell you what,
so
the picture of her as Trevor Lawrence as a female.
Yeah,
not far
looks
off.
exactly the same. Looks exactly
the
same.
same. Bro, we thought Tadisha was bad.
I wish they did this with
Tadisha. What do we call it? I called her Tadisha.
Tadisha.
But what is this? What is this?
Cody, I'm gonna do this with Baker Mayfield, but I'm gonna say fourth quarter, week 1 on the stat. Like I'm not gonna put full stats on there. I'm gonna cherry pick. I'm gonna cherry pick the good times he had.
Baker's not doing this.
I'm not saying Baker's that good. What I'm saying is this is cherry picking. This is cherry picking. This is 3 weeks. This is 3 weeks of what? 24 games he's played. This is cherry picking. Is what this is.
No, I don't even think it's.
You're doing what Skip Bayless does right
now. It's not cherry picking. The past 2 weeks, he has been one of the best
cherry picking.
The
past 2 weeks is the key.
One of the best quarterbacks in football right now.
You're cherry picking.
I bet you could have said that about Tyler Heineke. Let's see how he finishes. Taylor Heineke at some point.
No, there's a difference.
Hey, guess what? Mike White was the best quarterback in the NFL last week. The best quarterback in the NFL. Mike White.
Who?
White from the Jets. He was the best quarterback in the NFL last week. Go look up the stats.
Right. Let's go sign him to a 5-year deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm so glad that
this isn't cherry picking. Right now, it's one of the best.
3 weeks out of 24 games is cherry picking.
In football,
you're taking an
right
eighth of what he's played. You're taking 1/8 of the games he's played and saying he's the guy. No.
Yeah, his first year under a good head coach.
Season,
and now he's finally starting to turn it on.
At the end of the season, if his stats look like this, still in the tops like this, then I'll agree with you. Because that's what, 11 weeks?
All right, he's on the right track.
You're right.
He's on the right track,
but I'm not crowning him until he gets there. That's all there is to it,
I'm just saying, if there was a Trevor Lawrence in this draft, then maybe you would want to tank for him. But there isn't. That's
I'm just saying this is that if
y'all sound triggered.
If a man played in a female sport and competed, I think that the world would go crazy. They would say this is not right. Men cannot compete against girls. They're gonna win in swimming and racing. I think it's remarkably progressive that the Jaguars are letting a girl be their quarterback.
Yeah,
I thought that we were wild. We were progressive, with our Top Cats, but Trevesha or whatever her name is,
Trina.
Not only is this girl in the NFL just catching fire, bro, but 2 of the greatest games ever. Steve Young, hold my beer.
She a bad bitch. What's up? She bad.
All I could think of is Dazed and Confused with this and the hair. This and the hair. Next go.
Dude, he's the man.
What's going on, C3 Nation? This is your boy Jay Anderson. Y'all up. I want to give Steve Wilks a shout out, man. Like, Steve Wilks has been doing a good job. You know, he's an interim head coach. He's been doing a good job setting the culture. I think he set the culture back to where it used to be. I mean, granted, he doesn't have the players that he wanted, you know, and, you know, to take over like this and, you know, setting the culture of Panthers football, kind of like feeling back to the Ron Rivera, John Fox era. That's good. I know there's talks about should he be a head coach, and you know that's still up in the air. It's still, you know, still got a long season, still up in the air. You know, but as far as the next coach, you know, if he's that next coach, cool. I hope in the future, you know, one thing that I hope he doesn't do like Ron Rivera did, and I like Ron, but I hope he don't be super conservative. You know, and I know a lot of people when they're talking about, you know, we need an offensive-minded coach. Well, a lot of times, a lot of offensive-minded coach can be, you know, too aggressive. That they don't, you know, you need a coach. Basically, the next coach need to be like, there are ways to be there are ways to be aggressive, and there's ways to be conservative. It's football situation. So, you know, hope the next coach should have, you know, can be, you know, both of those. All right, on the Matt Rule, him getting a new job, man. I mean, you know, congrats to him. He back in college football, you know, where he belongs, because he doesn't belong in the NFL to me. You know, he's not an NFL guy. I'm sorry, but he's a college guy. And his sermon, press conference, is quite the same thing he did in Carolina. But like I said, this press conference in Carolina fit for a college, you know, fit for a college thing. So college is where he goes. So, hey, you know, more props to him. He back the way he should be. Ivan.
Hey, I just wanted to put this stat up there since we're not cherry picking. This is over his whole career. 5-20, worst record among quarterbacks in the NFL, drafted #1 overall through 25 career starts in the common era.
Jaguars, dude.
You can make excuses all you want to, but these are the stats. Look, you know what? That's the same Jaguars. The same Jaguars he's played those 3 games. The same Jaguars he's been playing those 3 games with. Been the best are these Jaguars. So you can't use them in one hand and not use them in the other. He's had the same Jaguars the last 3 games.
Can we ask a question here? Oh my God. How does he compare to Gardner Minshew with basically the same team?
Ooh, let me pull
that up.
Because Gardner Minshew's better.
So they're the Jaguars.
Exactly. Now, if you take his numbers,
I'll do everything. I put every number. Let's put every number straight head to head, baby. I got money on Minshew. I bet you got more wins.
Hold on.
I bet you he got more everything.
Make him current, Greg.
You better have those last 2 games.
I don't want to see those
Trevor
old
Lawrence
games. I've seen that shit before.
Dusted here.
Finish out these calls.
Kev, here's your grandma. She thinks that you guys are gonna love this.
Just want to say I love you guys and keep it clean. Have a great show. Mom, done.
Thank you,
Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne does. She love. Give us your address too, moms. Should have hit him with the Pancini. Joanne Pancini.
Water.
Yeah. She's fun. She does. Look, she's rooting for us. Water. What's that got to do with anything? Oh, I am. I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. Here we go.
So much water.
Actually, well, I mean, there's water in it, and
there's water in it. Is that new?
Go, buddy. First 14 games. First 14 games of their career.
No. We're not doing first 14
No. First
I want relevant numbers. I want numbers that also include the past 2 weeks. If that doesn't, then you're just cherry picking.
That's not just cherry picking. How many games did Gardner Minshew play for them?
We'll keep going. Don't worry. We'll keep going. Keep looking up. Let's play the next call. You look it up. You can go to
those 300 yards.
You're not incorporating his best numbers.
Yeah. That's fine. Add 300 yards and 3 touchdowns to his stats. His best numbers. Let's go ahead and add it to it.
Yo,
add it to his stats.
What's good? This is JD864. Hey, I just got off work. Had a few minutes. Was watching Aaron Duncan's film breakdown of this past Sunday's game. Looking forward to this tonight's show. I see that the title of it is buying or selling. You already know I'm buying. Look at the remaining schedule that the Panthers have, the remaining 5 opponents. None of them are really good against the run. And with Wilks as the head coach, that's exactly what the Carolina Panthers are going to do. Run the ball. Whoever's at quarterback, they're not going to ask them to do a whole lot. But what we saw from Sam on Sunday, that gives me reason to be optimistic. Like I've not been a huge fan of Sam, but if Sam can play at that game manager level, I'm cool with it. I'm good with it. I'm happy about it. But we all know we're gonna run the ball. None of the 5 teams that we have facing, the 5 remaining teams, they don't defend the runs very well. So I'm buying the Panthers, taking the NFC South, bringing it back to where it's supposed to be. Playoff bound. Wild ass year. Like this football season has not been predictable in the least bit. But yeah, man. Like I said, looking forward to the show. Obviously, I appreciate what you guys do. Cody, YB Jordan, Golden Corral is coming next year because Wilks will be the head coach. I'm here for it. That being said, Spurs up, keep pounding. Let's get it.
Keep pounding.
Here you go.
Oh, did this make it even worse? No.
I've got a side by side right here.
All right,
let me show you side by side.
Nowhere near the quarterback that Trevor Lawrence is. The only reason you're all making this a thing is because he actually is the type of talent that you in the draft. And by the way, I still think he has tremendous upside and can be the type of player that you would want.
We're not arguing that, but you have always
if he does
junk about Minshew unnecessarily.
Look, here's a side by side.
Minshew's not that guy.
He's put up better numbers than Trevor Lawrence has. Look, 26 and 27 games. 26 and 27 games. That's a comparison of everything they've done. Wins as a starter, Minshew has more. Losses as a starter, Minshew has less. Ties as a starter, they're the same. Minshew has a higher winning percentage. He has a higher passing completed percentage. He has more yards. He has more touchdowns. Like everything about this, he has less interceptions by half. Trevor Lawrence has twice interceptions in the same amount of games.
This is all
Trevor Lawrence. No, this is all side by side first 28 games. This includes your 3 games, amazing games with Trevor Lawrence. This right here shows that Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence is.
He's not a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God!
Then why does he beat him in every stat? Cody, he beats him in every single stat.
Where's
Gardner
Minshew?
Gardner Minshew yards
gained right now.
more.
What team is he
yards
on?
per attempt
What
more.
team is he
Yards,
on?
Gardner
winning
Minshew
drives.
might actually win the Super Bowl.
Look, winning drives. Gardner Minshew 3, Trevor Lawrence 4. They play the same amount of games. Interceptions.
I'm not even sure this
percentage.
is up to date.
Look,
I don't even think this
look
is up
at
to
you.
Look, right there you go. 26 games, 27 games.
I smell shenanigans.
You're just tasting that crow is what it is. You're tasting that crow in your mouth.
And by the way, the only thing that I got to say is, where's Gardner Minshew right now? What team is he even on?
He should go to Jaguars. He's the better quarterback.
Can I raise one crazy point here?
Look, more rushing yards.
Gardner Minshew may win a Super Bowl before Trevor Lawrence does. Number one, just by being on the team. But could Gardner Minshew be the Nick Folk or whatever that guy was for the Eagles again? What if Jalen Hurts? What if Jalen Hurts went down in the playoffs and Minshew magic came in? Would you be like, if he won a Super Bowl, would you at least just give him some respect?
Yeah, sure. If he wins the Super Bowl, I'll give him some respect.
Once again, ECU players badass Clemson player.
Minshew's better than Lawrence.
Overrated.
He's better than Greg. You don't even believe that, dude.
Dude,
you're
everything.
gonna tell me, Greg, if you had to start a football team right now and you got a pick of either Gardner Minshew or Trevor Lawrence, you're picking Gardner Minshew?
If all I knew was these stats, yeah, hell yeah, because Gardner Minshew
No,
beat
no. You're about if all you knew was these stats. I'm
Actually,
saying,
you know what? You know what, Cody? I will say it. Yeah, because
pick.
stats don't lie. I will say it. Yes, I would pick Gardner Minshew over Trevor Lawrence currently right now because
All
Gardner
right,
Minshew is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence is right now. Not saying Trevor Lawrence can't get better, but right now, Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback.
We had it until he shouldn't. He went too far.
Yeah, dude, you went off the deep end, dude. And
I had you with the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. Like he's gonna have a ring before Trevor. He could.
Yeah,
What if he comes in as the backup and they win again with a backup? That would be wild.
That would be nuts. Yeah.
But we would not draft him over Trevor Lawrence. No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
but I would over Sam Darnold. I would over Sam Darnold next call.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's me, C-Dog 1983. I hope everybody is having a terrific Tuesday.
C-Dog.
Now, whenever you come in here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the goddamn content. You guys get up here every Tuesday, every Friday.
Close your ears, baby.
We got the game simulation on Saturday.
Get a cup of coffee.
Then we got the pre-game and the after-game show. So, you know, it could be with their families doing way more important stuff with their families, but they're trying to put out this good content for all these great Panther fans. And with that being said,
dude, this is
I just got in here. I just got home from work, you know, but when I did get in here, y'all was playing the Matt Rule response. Now, I don't never, ever want to hear his sorry bitch ass ever again on the C3 podcast. He's a fucking bum. He ain't do shit in college. He doesn't have a national championship. Baylor got better when he left. Baylor won a major bowl last year without Matt Rule. Like, what the fuck, man? I don't want to talk about this dumb fuck no more. Steve Wilks came in, defense ain't fall off without Phil Snow. Let you know Phil Snow on shit. You know, so I don't want to hear no more about goddamn Matt Rule. I don't want to hear about Steve Wilks or whoever, you know, but I don't want to hear no more about this fucking bum. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Matt Rule. That sorry ass fucking excuse he had, dumb ass motherfucker. Now the Nebraska stuck with his dumb ass. Talking about goddamn 5 years. Who the fuck got them gonna give you a job and got them wait for you for 5 years and got them approved something? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. I mean, you can give them a job, nigga, you got them 90 days. Nigga, 90 days, you got them, you don't do good, nigga, you ain't get no benefits. You might be out of there. Nigga talking about 5 years, dumbass shit. He talking about Jay-Z 7 years. Like, you say some of the dumbest shit, man. You know, I don't want to hear no more about no fucking Matt Rule, man. Dumbass, dumb fuck, mediocre, dumbass coach. The fuck. But shout out to the whole C3 podcast. Shout out to goddamn Cody. Happy birthday to Cody Mama. He missed the show this past Friday.
Hey, appreciate you.
Shout out to goddamn G-Baby, the motherfucking GOAT, even though we had different opinions. You know what I'm saying? I respect his opinion, even though you have a fucked up opinion sometimes. You know, so with that being said, it's a terrific Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to have a goddamn great Wednesday. It's motherfucking hump day.
And my birthday.
I hope everybody have a great day tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And a great rest of the week. And we got to wait for next week to see what this team going to do with Seattle. But with that being said, make sure you hit the motherfucking like button. Make sure you motherfucking subscribe to this great goddamn content. The C3 podcast, goddamn it. Have a great night. Keep pounding.
Hey, appreciate you, C.
Call the night.
C-Dog is the man. Dude, C-Dog has only grown more and more likable in all the time that we've known him. Dude, he's the man.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Are you talking? You might be muted, Tony.
I love it. And first of all is that my mom's in the chat, which is funny because she's always, look, she said soap. Right. But like when you really parse C-Dog's conversation together, he's always so thoughtful. Like that was like the most if you could, and this, I want to interpret it for my mom in a way, and that is he gave a tip of the cap to the podcast. He gave a tip of the cap to other callers and their opinions. He came in here and had a thoughtful comment about the show. So I'm telling you, C-Dog, you're right. His calls, there's like some real magic to them. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's how I get with G-Baby a little bit, is I can see the brilliance in them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being snarky in that. Like, I really do love these calls a lot. I love every single person that gives their time to us.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, is that, like, I find it awesome that you let us hang out with you. So, love every single person that calls in. Love my mom in the chat. Mom, go to bed. Stop watching YouTube just because you love your son. Let us be some football fools for a moment. And he even said happy birthday to your mom in there.
I know, man.
See, I'm telling you, he's thoughtful. He's a thoughtful dude. He cares about us. We care about him.
Man.
He's
I
a thoughtful
ride
person.
with C-Dog, man. He is
Me
the
too.
coolest.
Me too.
I met Cody's mom. She's super cool.
He even had a philosophical conversation about free speech in there. He said, "Gee, baby, I respect your opinion, even though you're wrong." Like, yes, I love that. Last call at night, I think.
Love it. Hey guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City, aka Carolina Sports Guy. You know, I kind of look back at this Matt Rule thing since you guys were talking about Matt Rule tonight. One thing I go back and I always found it kind of odd. And the man is too classy to basically probably tell what went down. But as soon as Matt Rule takes over as head coach, it wasn't long after that Luke Kuechly retired. And we know the concussion stories, and maybe he did feel it was time. But part of me really believes, and I do not like Ron Rivera, was not a fan. Definitely don't like Rule, not after what we've been through. But if Rivera would have stayed, and it was time for him to go, but if we would have maybe had a Wilks on the roster, or, you know, to be a head coach or interim when Rivera left, or we had someone else who was NFL proven, just maybe Kuechly doesn't retire, sticks around 1 or 2 more years. Now, could be wrong. The concussion situation was serious, and it really could have played a part. But something tells me that Kuechly got a vibe, a Rule, and just did not feel comfortable. Sounds crazy. And we may never know the truth because he's too classy an individual to throw somebody in a bus like that. But the big part of me just thinks that could have very well been the case. And if that's the case, it's a shame. Because I would have loved to have seen Kuechly play, you know, a couple more years, even if it would have been less of what he had been. But anyway, that's my take on that, guys. And hey, got to get up for the Seattle game, because if we win that game, guys, I really feel that we got a legitimate shot to win this division. But one game at a time. Keep pounding.
Dude, the only thing better than Chuck's call is your mom saying she's not she's grandma, not grandma. And that's the coolest, dude.
Nice. Hey,
I want to feed her. Don't feed into her right now. My mom secretly thinks this is that if she calls in here and gets in the chat, that like our ratings, like our views are gonna go up like triple fold.
She's right.
Like, oh, they should. Yeah.
Italian lady in here. Look, don't
Miss
feed
Dunn,
her.
you're correct.
No, come in here every week.
Every
week.
Oh
my God.
Hey,
yes.
I want to comment about that call real quick.
I know I got a lot
on,
to say about it, actually,
because I actually was going to bring this up earlier, but the show was running long, and I was like, well, I'll talk about it later. I said this in the man cave when we were watching the game of the day. We should have never got rid of Ron Rivera. I know that a lot of us were ready to get rid of Ron Rivera, but look at what he's done with this mediocre team in a strong division with the Washington Commanders. And imagine he can take a team. Teams will follow him. I'm telling y'all, if we had Ron Rivera, we would have never got rid of Cam Newton. Like they were saying there, I think that we may not have ever gotten rid of Luke Kuechly. Maybe that was an injury thing. I don't know, but I know he didn't want to play for Matt Rule. The team would have been totally different if we would have just kept Ron Rivera. Imagine where we'd be right now.
It's hard to argue that, especially being that he's taking the Commanders to playoffs potentially 2 times out of his 3 years that he's been a coach there.
With Heineke and Allen and garbage players. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera is a good coach.
And
He's
they
a
almost
good coach.
beat the Buccaneers on their Super Bowl run.
Mm-hmm. We should have never gotten rid of
They're
Ron
falling
Rivera.
for it. You're falling for my mom.
I'm not falling for it. I've said
Y'all
that
are
since day
falling for
one
my
when we
mom and
signed Matt
her
Rule.
idea
No.
that she's going to be like Mama Mrs. Beast or something. And 2,
She
you got to
is.
remember, Ron Rivera does this with every team in November and
why he's a good
December.
coach.
This is what he
That's why
always
he's a good coach.
does. He doesn't do it in. Look, yes, he was, and he was not necessarily a problem. There was a lot of things, and there might be time to move on. I do want to go back to the Matt Rule thing. Is that he said, what did he say about? What did he just say about Matt Rule with get rid of Cam? Is that what he said? No, Luke, that's what it was. Luke.
Yeah, Luke had a feeling about it.
Luke, as soon as he met with Rule and them, I'm pretty sure he retired after the announcement was made. Like he was kind of contemplating some different things, and they just said, I'm done. But if you guys remember, he went to the scouting department for a year.
He quit.
And he worked as a scout because he's been very adamant about wanting to stay close to football. Like, while, he was trying to, I think, make it about his health and say this, but I can move into it like a Dan Morgan did to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever pathway it takes him, we have always been like, oh, he could be a linebackers coach. But he started where you actually probably should. You know what I'm saying? He was going to try to make his bones. Mm-hmm. He went a whole year in the scouting department and then resigned. He resigned. He didn't get fired. He just said this, I don't want to scout for this team anymore. He's like, oh, I need to take a break from football. And then 3 or 4 weeks went by, and then all of a sudden he's hanging out with Ron Rivera. No, he ran out of that house. He ran out of there, and Cam Newton doesn't like Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
No,
he
no
knows
one does.
Matt Rule he's not good, dude.
Remember the week that Matt Rule got fired, you saw Luke Kuechly and Jonathan Stewart, who had not been in that stadium or with that team since Matt Rule came there, back with the team in the stadium pregame. Matt Rule was a cancer for this team.
I agree.
Nobody
100.
liked him. He was horrible, man.
And I didn't really fully want to put all of it on him until that comment he made.
Yeah.
Because he just acted like him firing his staff last year was because of pressure. That's what he's, what do you mean? We were just you fired your entire staff this past year. And you're like, oh, if we just had 1 or 2 more pieces, we were building something. You didn't even have an idea who you were even coaching with.
No.
Your entire staff you fired. And you're trying to act like, oh, well, the pressure was to get it done in 2 years. Shush. Really bad look. And the problem is, probably will fade away on this podcast right here, those comments. My mom called. My son's going to call now. And then I'm sorry, I made this problem tonight.
Hey, it's White Chocolate Express.
So mad about the Matt Rule stuff.
I wanted to call in. I hear Cody
JD had
wants to go to the
another
playoffs.
call, too.
Let's go to the playoffs. Let's go to the playoffs. Y'all know why he wants to go to the playoffs, right? Because Clemson ain't going. How does it feel, Cody, to know the reason that Clemson can't go to the playoffs is because South Carolina? Who would have hurt you?
He's such a douchebag.
You know what? I saw your Twitter post. You said Spencer Rattler over C.J. Stroud. I want to know, where do you rank Spencer Rattler if he's coming out in this draft? I want to know that. And also, to my father, do you think Grandma can loan me like $10 so I can go to the store? Peace.
Ask your grandma.
I mean, you probably get more money from her than you will from Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And then enjoy your victory, dude. You're going nowhere.
He's enjoying.
You haven't ever won a national title. But it's okay. You beat Clemson for the first time in like
Cowboys turn into a Cowboys
million years.
They play in a real division too.
Congrats, dude. Oh, please. Give me
I don't see JD's other call. I might have missed it, but let's go ahead and ask him. Hit me up with your last 4 digits and what time you made it. I don't delete any of them. Ask Cody. I never delete. He gets so mad when he looks at the voicemail.
So mad.
Let's see this. We have the bye week. Oh, let's remind this, guys. Sunday, 4:30. The bye week post game charity drive for the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation, trivia, games, giveaways, all of that jazz. We need you guys to help us because we are trying to make this a thing. We thought, man, we were like finally getting enough of a community. We could try to do something like this and it actually make a little difference. And so we contacted Nikki Bozeman and said, can we do this? And she set the page up and she said, I said, I don't know really what we've never done anything like this. And she said, well, I started for $5,000. We'll see if we need to up it. So I was like, oh my God.
We got to beat that, man. We got to hit the 5,000.
Pressure's on.
We're at 705 right now. We were at 325 to start the show today. We're at 705 right now. It's open all week long, y'all. Please don't give money to us. Give money to them. Even if you're going to give us $3 or $4.
And if
we'll still play your chat. I promise. We will still play your chat. Give that money to the charity. Every little bit helps.
What's really cool is when we reached out to her, she said that she had heard of us.
Yes, that's cool too.
Yeah.
So she's aware of what you guys are and how much of an impact we could potentially make. And so I think if we can do this as an opportunity to show the Panthers community, the Charlotte area what's possible. I mean, I think that's something that we should certainly take advantage of.
Let's help some kids out, man.
Yes. We got a week, and we did an extent. We can do as much as we want on this. This is just something we're doing because we want to start something on the bye week. We've had such great momentum over the past 2 years or 3 years on this show. We're in our 10th season right now. So we want to do something where we don't lose any time with the community in our bye week. So we said hey, let's do something that's fun. Easy for all. So this is the way to do it. Way to help us. JD, was it your first or second call? I need to know. And I think that's it. We covered all the topics. It's 12:07. We got to do some ice ups, and at least once we get through this one call, get the heck out of here. Anything else? Did we miss any topics?
No.
All right. Let's
no, we're good.
Let's do our ice up picks and see if JD lets me know if it is his first or second call.
Can we?
It's a second.
Oh,
it's
a second.
It was it's a second.
You guys want to do a collective ice up? Just go ahead and
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to see if I bookmark one tweet though, in case. But yes, here's the call.
I do have a tweet.
Yo, C3, what's good? This is JD864. Hey, I just got off work. Had a few minutes. Was watching Aaron Duncan film breakdown of this past Sunday's game. Looking forward to this tonight's show.
I thought I think we listened to this.
We
one.
heard this.
I see that the title of it.
He said 808. Oh gosh, there was 3 calls.
Yo, C3, it's JD864. Hey, I called in earlier before the show started, and I'm calling in second time. Understand if you guys don't play the call. But that being said, calling in on this specific instance to speak on the soundbite, the clip that Cody just shared, wherein which Rule spoke about his team with the Panthers. And as Tony stated, it upset him. It genuinely and truly pissed me the fuck off. Because that man was legitimately the fucking catalyst for why Cam Newton is no longer a part of the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
And Cam's leave from the team was not what the fuck it should have been. You legitimately, even if it wasn't his fucking decision, if it wasn't your decision, you co-signed it. You okayed it. So how the fuck you stand there and then say, oh, if you tell me we needed to do it in 2 years, bitch, you tried to do it in 2 years.
You told us.
You were the one that brought Teddy in. You brought Sam in. You brought Baker in.
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to pat you on the back and congratulate you and thank you for the talent that you brought for the defensive side of the ball. He did very well much bring in a Jeremy Chin, draft a J.C. Horn. hey, very extremely appreciative of the talent that's on the defensive side of the ball. But don't you stand there and fix your fucking mouth and act like, oh, I didn't have anything to do with what was going on the offensive side of the ball. I had nothing to do with who was coming in as part of my coaching staff. I had nothing to do with the offense not being able to fucking put up over 21 points against teams in games where the team has a chance to win, but the guy you have at quarterback can't get it done. But now you want to stand there and say, oh, I wouldn't have taken this. Bro, I swear to
this is out of character.
Ain't no damn way, man.
For JD.
Ain't no damn way. And that's who the fuck
You're right,
had
JD.
hired to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in the wrong profession. I got way more integrity, and I would have more integrity at a high school than this man does at a professional. But nah, man, I'm in the wrong profession.
Integrity.
And then Nebraska turned the fuck around, and that's who they hired. Hey, I put it in the chat. If there happens to be any Nebraska fans watching C3 right now, congratulations. Welcome to mediocrity. You won't win shit with Rule. Guarantee that. Yo, man, that shit really. Keep pounding, man. Keep pounding.
Just remember, JD64 lives in Hawaii and is the most glass half full guy we've ever had on the show.
So if he's mad, you know it's upsetting.
Yeah, this is out of character in that, you know what I'm saying? And he's right. Just right. And to me, to be honest, I don't think they win anything at this point, as there's an aura about him. Let's do the ice up picks, and we'll definitely hit him with that collective one right off the bat.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's time for the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast. Literally, the longest running Panthers podcast is gone over 3 hours on the bye week. And on top of that, we are in our 10th season. Ice Up Picks are our homage, our own. This is our moment to step outside of football, step outside of the Panthers, and to ice up, tell someone to toughen up, get it together. It's our homage to Steve Smith, and everyone is fair game. What we're going to do to start this off is remind you.
He's a fool, and don't I know it?
Our collective ice up goes to Matt Rule. Oh, Matt Fool, Rat Mule, ice up. Ice up. Good gosh. I'm sorry this podcast went so long, guys. You know I always do this to you anyway, but I got pissed. We got in a rabbit hole for Trevor Lawrence. Then we got in a rabbit hole over those comments there. I know. Yeah. Totally my fault. I own it. I own it.
I'll take blame for that. I brought it up to begin with, the Trevor Lawrence thing, because I wanted to get Tony or Cody lit.
Nice. So, all right. Again, if you guys have an individual ice up, I'm ready. I got one.
I'm ready, but whenever it don't matter to me.
All right, you go.
Okay, I'll share mine real quick. Then I shared mine with y'all a couple days ago. I'm once again still on this Twitter kick, and I'll put this up here. I'm icing up Alyssa Milano here for this tweet. This is the greatest exchange in Twitter history ever happened.
This was mine. Oh my god. This is literally mine. I got it pulled up. All right, let's do it together.
She says, I gave back my Tesla. Okay. I bought a VW EV. I love it. I'm not sure how advertisers buy spaces on Twitter. Publicly traded companies' products being published in alignment with hate and white supremacy doesn't seem to be a winning business model. The first response to her, Volkswagen was literally founded by Nazis and Hitler, which is so funny because that shows you how far out of touch people are. Like, seriously, how far out of touch people are that they would look at Elon Musk as being a white supremacist and running a terrible business model. And you're going to back Volkswagen, founded by Hitler and the Nazis, because you don't study. You don't look up your information. You don't look into what you're doing. You just go out there and say whatever you think the most woke thing to say is going to be. So I'm going to ice up Alyssa Milano, but I also want to go back to what I said a month ago, and I'm keeping track of this, and we're going to see. For everybody who said they were going to get off Twitter because how terrible it was going to be, are you still on Twitter? Because you are. And guess what? Has your life changed? Do you wake up in the morning and feel more hate? Do you wake up in the morning and have less money? Is your life worse because Twitter has changed? No, absolutely nothing has changed for you. And if it has, guess what? Just don't look at that on Twitter. It's fucking social media, people. Get a real life and realize this is not the real world. Okay? Nothing that is going on with Elon Musk and Twitter should change your life to a point where you feel like you should do something differently. Period. If you don't like it, get off Twitter and get on another social media network. That's all there is to it. And even if you don't like it, stay on Twitter and it'll never bother you if you just block what you don't want to see. It is social media. People in this world today are so effing crazy about what's going on with social media and don't realize that they have a real life too.
Right.
Every day you could put social media away and never pick up your phone again, and your life would run just fine, I promise. Okay, so for all those people who were saying they were leaving Twitter and this is going terrible, and Alyssa Milano, who says that Elon Musk is a white supremacist, but she's going to buy a Nazi vehicle, ice up.
I'm just gonna kind of follow up on that ice up because I really don't have an ultimate opinion entirely on Elon Musk and all of this mess. Like, man, I kind of do, but it's kind of wacky in some of this stuff, and it's gotten bizarre. But
has your life changed at all since Twitter? Has anything in your life changed?
No.
Exactly. That's
but here is the one thing I want to say is this is my follow-up ice up with this just goes to don't virtue signal the internet because they will win. This is she's telling the truth. I found a picture from the dealership and look, they got Alyssa Milano in the background with Hitler here. Look at this one. This one is awesome. This is my favorite one right here. God. So look, is don't poke with the internet. They will always win.
Always.
All right.
It's undefeated.
That was mine. So we're together. Ice up next.
So look, I'll go first. I have a funny one, and I don't really even know who exactly I'm icing up, but it's just like it's funny how dogs, and isn't it funny? Greg's dog has decided to join us for this final segment. But I'm icing up dogs because sometimes they can make a mess when you don't want them to. But sometimes it'll lead to something really cool happening. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this name before, but there's a guy by the name of Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. He is a mixed martial arts fighter. He fights in the UFC. And he's from the UK. And he is, everyone loves this dude. He's like, everyone's calling him the next Conor McGregor. He's a badass, right? Well, he was walking his dog. Well, when this happened, this was recorded on a Ring video doorbell. And I'll just let the video speak for itself.
Hello?
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy shit outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front park. It is.
I'm 5 minutes away from home. Don't worry, I'll clean it.
Just, like, you sure? I feel terrible. You know what I mean?
No, it's all right.
Like Jake Pryor.
Off a sloppy shit, and I can't even pick it up with a poo bag. Know what I mean?
Don't worry, I'll clean it when I get it.
Thank you very much once again. I'm sorry about that. I hate doing stuff like that. That's why I knocked on.
Go on. See you later.
He is a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, man. Like that's cool. I mean, how many times does a dog take an unwanted shit in your yard equal a really cool viral moment, and you get to talk to a superstar? So even though it ended up being a good thing, I guess I'll just ice up dogs, but. I've made it happen, so I guess shout out to the dog. I don't know.
CK, you got anything?
Just the one that I had shared, or I guess with the group. I'm not going to play the video, but basically Joe Biden saying some kind of really dumb shit.
Yes. You can't find this on the internet, just so you know. And that lets you know that the internet is controlling what you see. You cannot find this on the internet.
So basically, I haven't personally, like you said, Greg, I've seen this in one place. And so I don't know the whole context. So I'm not comfortable saying that this is 100% certain. But there was a video that was out there of Joe Biden describing 3 senators that were on stage with him. 2 of the senators were black, and the third one, by my assumption of what Joe Biden believes him to be, is some sort of a Middle Eastern or something like that, right? But there's no way to know for sure. Well, he describes these 2 guys. He said that I have 3 senators on the stage here with me. 2 of them look like they can play ball, and one looks like he can bomb you. And
it was bad.
You can't find it anywhere either, which is what's so funny. It just lets you know they control what you're seeing. Sorry, I did.
But no, yeah. So my eyes up is if that's real. Like that is absolutely that's horrendous, dude.
Biden, he's the oldest president ever. I didn't realize that. I thought they were old presidents.
Ever, to be honest with you,
no, that's not.
I'm not sure. He may be.
No, he's in his 80s. There's no president been in there. No, he's not. Stop. All right. That's the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Tuesday nights we rock this. Tomorrow I'm trying to put together a sort of impromptu round table. It does not look like it's coming together at the moment for Panther creators, but we'll see if we can make that happen.
I think they were already planning one for Saturday night, which is what the issue is. They had already.
Okay. Well, why can't we just do both?
That. Yeah.
We just say let's do both. It's not like we're people are going to watch both of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fine.
Well, I don't know if they're all available or whatever.
That's fine. That's fine. It might not happen, but I don't really got a beat check plan. So I was trying to get something for 8:00 tomorrow. We'll see if it happens. If not, we also just remember Friday free for all. Oh, bro, I won. That guy did not get me. He kept trying to come in, Cody.
Oh, really?
One of these people tried to keep coming in. I had a quiz he had to take.
Did you know that we talk about it after, but you can actually make sure people have to authenticate themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They still did that the last time. The guy still didn't.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, but anyway, you're right. You can't do that. And so Friday free for all. Sunday charity drive. Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation be with us for our bye-week charity drive. This is our first one of many. You can find the link in the description pinned in the comments. Go ahead and support $5, $10, $20. We've got already people giving up to $250. It's been incredible already. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah, we got over 700 so far.
Yeah, so fantastic. Help us. We'll be here Sunday. Greg's got a lot of cool stuff for us in store. My name's Tony Dunn. You can follow me at @cat_Chronicles. Greg, Friday night, what you got going on?
Friday night, we got Titans midseason finale. We got Periphery finale. And then Cody and your Kevin Boshoven, your bastard son.
Illegitimate son, yeah.
Yeah, they're coming on to talk to us about Game of Thrones. We're talking anything and everything Game of Thrones. I'll be in season 7 by then, hopefully.
Awesome.
So we'll be ready to go, but it's going to be a really fun time.
Cody Lack?
Yeah, man, you can find me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. There will be a brand new draft on drafttech.com tomorrow, so check that out. Listen to or read my comment for the Carolina Panthers. And yeah, every Friday at 7 p.m. we do the Friday free for all the show for the fans, by the fans. You can come on, be a part, join via StreamYard, and tell us what you think about this Panther football team.
CK?
You can find me at Codizzle Allen at most social media platforms, but mainly you can find me here for the Madden simulations. We do those Saturday before the game. Obviously, this Saturday we're not going to have a game, so we'll be using that extra time for the charity drive on Sunday. So be on the lookout for all of that. Yeah, and then of course, I'm going to be playing some Call. I don't do the streaming as much anymore, so mainly it's just hanging out here. So if you guys are interested in seeing my beautiful face, it's here that you can see me.
Cody Lack, take us out of here.
All right, C3 Panther Nation.
Oh, word of the week, Rebel. Good.
Until next time.
Remember it.
Keep pounding.